everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry we're all delayed.
That always catches everybody off guard because it doesn't stop at like a point in the music that you think it would. So hello to everybody watching on YouTube as well as Facebook. I have let all the guys know I am going to step on the soapbox for a minute, so I appreciate you all listening to me rant. I received a comment earlier today from somebody on one of my thrifting videos telling me that when I was in the nursing profession, and I will tell you guys all, I still am in the nursing profession. I just work 2 12-hour shifts a week instead of 3 or 4. And she said, since I got out of the nursing profession, I was not taking care of my appearance. She wanted my hair and makeup done on a thrifting video. So, A, I'm in Florida. It's 100 degrees. B, I am not a makeup wearer unless I am live or I'm doing a pre-recorded video. So when I'm out thrifting, running around all day in 90-degree weather, I am not doing I didn't wear makeup for 20 years until I started my YouTube channel. So I want to say the bashing is not acceptable on my channel. I blocked her. We will not see her again. And that goes for anybody. I don't take any bashing. I'm here to help the community and make it a positive experience. And a woman bashing another woman is just totally unacceptable to me. So don't do it. And just to prove a point, I think for the first time ever on one of my lives, I am not wearing makeup and my hair is in a bun because I can. And I don't think anybody should feel like they have to wear makeup and their hair to do whatever they're doing. I'm still giving you the knowledge and teaching, and that is the end of my soapbox. I'm not looking at the comments. I'm looking at my camera. So that's the end of my soapbox. I am done with my soapbox, but I just want to say to that person, your comments will never be seen on my channel again, and you can go watch somebody else. Okay, that's it. So as always, I have my good co-host, Julian, over here. He is coming up on 10K, so if you guys aren't subscribed to him, definitely check out Julian. And both of these gentlemen below have never been on the show, so I am going to let them both introduce themselves. Richard and Mark will be dropping links to their channel all night, so subscribe to them if you have not. I'm going to let Carrie go first, and I'm going to read some of the comments. So, Carrie, here you go.
Sure. I am Carrie, a.k.a. American Arbitrage. I've been a reseller for 10 years. Most people know me from TikTok and Instagram. I've been doing TikTok for about 2 years, as well as YouTube and Instagram, but TikTok really took off. I'm about to hit 700K here in the next couple of days, so it's insane, the amount of people who view those TikToks. So, yeah, I've been a reseller for 10 years. I do eBay. I do Mercari. I used to do Amazon. I've been getting into Whatnot auctions, which is a whole new thing for me. And yeah, I live in Utah. I'm a University of Utah graduate. I have 3 degrees, a history degree, a poli-sci degree, and a Spanish degree. That's me.
Perfect. Mike, here you go.
All right. I am Mike, the Golden State Picker. I am in California, San Jose, Silicon Valley. I've been thrifting for 2.5 years. April will be 3 years. Before that, I owned a retail furniture store for 30 years and basically retired and did Uber. And I used to be called the rideshare reseller because that's how I started doing this. And now I'm a full-time eBay and Amazon bookseller. Do both.
Perfect.
Nice.
That is awesome. I saw a question from Duncan and now I can't find it. It was pretty early on. He was, hold on. I'm trying to find it. Where did it go? He was basically asking, like, when do we think is the right time if you were going to hire an employee for eBay to hire an eBay employee?
I think that's a good question. For me, the perfect time is when you've maxed yourself out. And that only you can know that when you feel totally maxed out. I have never felt near that, to be honest with you. I've always felt like there's a bit of time I'm wasting. I can maximize myself a little while. I think a lot of people jump on it a little bit too soon, honestly. It's an expense that you don't need unless, you absolutely need it. So just, I would advise everybody to be careful. Focus more on maximizing what you're able to do in the time you have. And when you feel tapped out, that's the time.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. I look at it as if you are tapped out and you want to grow your business, then go into that. You really have to have that mentality to take it to the next level, because now you have to take on an employee and pay them. You don't want to bring them on and then have to let them go. So you got to be really committed to that. And it's just like when I owned my store, when my store started to grow, then I needed more employees. That's when you pick it up and you go from there. But don't do it too soon. I haven't, and I'm busy 7 days a week, but I don't think I ever will. I'm too old for it.
Yeah, I would agree. Like when you max yourself out, but like exactly what Mike said is that you have to be ready to take that leap into that, because somebody's going to now like work for you, and you're going to have to pay them. They rely on you for that paycheck. So you better have all that kind of like already done and all your tax information figured out and all that stuff. But usually when you feel like you're maxed out, you can go just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just a teeny bit more.
Yeah.
I now have 2 people working for me. My mom has been working for me doing my cross posting, but before she was doing it, I would pay like virtual assistants to do it, kind of like a contract thing. And for me, that was a personal decision because my mom needed extra money and I didn't want my 73-year-old mother working at a gas station, which is what she was talking about doing. So that's why I brought my mom on. And then my niece, I brought her on. Basically, she lost her job and needed a job. So it was the same situation, but I'm pretty maxed out. I'm doing daily videos on here. I'm starting to do like some of my reseller boxes, and our sales, like today we were over $550. Yesterday we were over $700. So I'm hoping it's response to her listing. And she's only coming 3 days a week. And what I had to do, because I was paying her hourly, is switch it to per listing, because she had kind of slowed down a little bit, and I can't afford to pay somebody without getting results and getting listings from that. So now I'm paying her per listing, and she's doing a lot more. So I'm hoping those sales stay. It might be a fluke, but I'm hoping it is not a fluke. But I second what everybody says. It's a whole new ball game. If it's just you and you're not making the sales, that's fine. But if somebody else is depending on your sales for their income, that's a game changer. It's a big thing.
Big thing.
Sure.
Big thing.
Big jump.
Duncan wants to know, how have everybody's sales been?
You know what? My sales tend to always depend on how much I'm listing. It doesn't really matter the time of year, unless I'm trying to sell shorts in the winter, which I don't typically do. So as long as with the stuff I do, which is sports cards and toys primarily, it really doesn't matter what time of year. I'm only slow when I'm not listing a ton, which has been the case like the last couple of weeks, because I've been distracted with my auctions and other things I'm doing. But honestly, when I post, whenever I feel like, it's getting slow, I send out a bunch of offers and I post a little bit more. That's just the remedy typically for me.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for me. I've been steady. I am steady Eddie. I do a lot of big items. I do a lot of electronics, stuff like that. So for me, it's the same thing. You've got a list. You've got to find stuff, but you got to find good stuff. You've got to find the quality stuff, and that's my game. I only average 8 sales a day. That's me, and I do a pretty good number. So you just got to kind of list and keep that going, and your sales will come in. I don't worry about it. I have a process that I do, and I really don't look at that. As long as I'm doing my process, what I'm doing, everything else will fall in line. I'm very positive about that. Just get your stuff in line, get your process in line, and let it roll. I don't shoot for targets. I don't shoot for numbers. Those will come if I'm doing the right things, and that's big. That's really big.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. But my sales have been usually average. Today's a little bit above average. I just did like 550-ish. So, but also yesterday I listed for 12 hours. So that goes with what they just said. So.
Yeah, and I know I've seen a lot of people saying they're posting, and the sales aren't coming. eBay is like that. I'll go through slow stretches, and I have almost 4,000 items now in my store. So if you have a significantly less amount, there are going to be, slow times to that. Just keep listing, push through it, and they will pick back up. And I just discussed mine. Caro Queen, hopefully Richard can drop the link to the Death Pile Destruction Facebook group. I think we're at like 700 members now.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's a problem. Like, I mean, overbuying is definitely a problem in the community that I have tapped into now. So it's good to be there to hold each other accountable and, you know, just whatever. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I'm going through all the comments. Sorry, I'm trying. Ken, I don't know how safe Hybid is. I had somebody comment on my Hybid video, the short that I did, and they said it was down again. But when I went, you could see the auctions, but if you tried to see like your past bids, they weren't there. I am not buying, so I haven't really been looking at Hybid that much. I will Saturday for my sourcing group, and I hope it's back up because I'll tell you guys, 2 Saturdays ago, it was hard for me to try and find inventory for people when Hybid was down, because that is my primary like big auction site that I use. And I tried I know other ones in my area, and I'm sure there are in everybody's area, but I don't know local ones all around the country, and it caused me, it was a little rough. It was a little rough. Mary's over on Facebook. Yeah, none of the guys are wearing makeup, so
Yeah.
I'm the only one without a beard tonight. I should
No,
have.
that's weird. Yeah, that is right. You're missing.
You can put a beard on.
You're missing something.
If you have a beard, you have to put makeup.
I'm missing a beard.
Everybody always funny if you had a Halloween one on, you know. That would have been,
yeah, one of the like costumes.
Yeah, fake ones. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You would have got some comments.
It's funny, yeah. Then I definitely would have. Julian is the only like male occasionally, and I'm like, no, it happens both ways. Like, I promise, I'm the outcast sometimes too. It depends on who we have on. Crosshouse Sift and Thrift wants to know what we each use for editing our YouTube videos.
I do everything from my phone, 100% completely from my phone, and I use InShot, INSHOT. I use it for my TikTok videos, my Instagram Reels, my YouTube Shorts on my YouTube videos. I don't know. I'm not much of a laptop person. About 7-8 years ago, I decided to only use my phone. I have a MacBook, but I only use my phone for everything, really, except an occasional thing I have to do that's a little bit more technical. But you can do it all on your phone. It's totally possible. I do, from GoPro to my phone to upload.
Yeah.
I use Final Cut Pro and Camtasia. Now, Camtasia is mostly for doing screen tutorials, which I'm working on. So Camtasia will be in the future for me, big time. So that's what I use. Don't use my phone only. I don't use my phone for listing, nothing. My phone is basically for searching. That's it. Everything I do is on desktop.
I use Filmora X. That's Wondershare. I think that's what it is. And I use it all on the laptop. So I transfer all my stuff on here, then do that. But I list on my phone. I do everything else on my phone other than edit, because my thumbs don't work. I would be cutting and pasting all types of stuff.
And I do everything on my phone as well. I list on my phone. I edit all my videos on my phone. I transfer from my GoPro to my phone to edit. And I use KindMaster. And I really like that. So I want to point out here, you guys just heard 50-50 answers. So you got to figure out what works for you. Because like some people prefer listing on a desktop. Like, I hate listing on a desktop. I hate it. And then other people hate listing on the phone. So try it both ways and see what works for you, because it's different for every person. Yeah, for sure. Marsha, I heard you stopped into Bargains and Blessings, B&B. Talked to my mom today. I did talk to your mom today. What do you think of the new store? The new store is amazing. So Bargains and Blessings is one of my favorite thrift stores, and I haven't been there in months. And I had to go pick up some auction stuff today for reseller boxes, not for me. Let me just say that I'm not keeping it. But they had an 18-inch Murano bowl that they had accidentally given to another buyer. So I had to drive there. So while I was there, I went thrifting, and this store opened up another store. So they have two, like, right side by side, one for hard goods and furniture, and then another for clothing and like accessories, jewelry and bags. And it's absolutely amazing. Red Cardinal Treasure's mom is the manager there, and she designed the new store, and it's amazing. You guys will see in my thrift video. It is a absolutely beautiful. It looks like a boutique, and they have a dollar room. Like the thrift store looks nice, and the prices are cheap, so it's absolutely amazing. Celia is asking, a few friends have asked me to sell their items for them. What would be a reasonable commission?
I've done this a bit because I've had a retail store. I'm at it right now for the better part of a decade. And I get that question all the time. Can you sell, my stuff, for me and everything? And honestly, I won't touch it personally unless it's 50-50 after fees. Now you can offer less. When I started, it was like 25%, and then it went up to 30. And now, just time wise, I don't touch anything unless it's 50-50. I found I don't get motivated, unless there's a decent enough profit. Also, I don't take things that are piddling, small items. Make sure, I would set a limit, like it's got to be at least $50 or $100 or $200. And you don't have to be as extreme as say 50-50, but make sure it's worth your time. That's a huge thing, because if you're willing to put in that work and do consignments, you also have to worry about 1099ing and all that kind of stuff once you get consignments as well. So just bear that in mind. But it's definitely something that you can do. I've done it for many people over the years.
Yeah, I do it too. I network. I think networking is the biggest thing for me to get sales going. So there's a couple of guys that I deal with, and they know it's a 50-50 split after fees and so forth. Now it works this way. They buy the item, I'll eat the tax side, kind of a fair split there. So if he pays $20 for the item, that's his, and then I'll pay the tax portion. The fees come out, then we split it 50-50. That's how it works. And I get and I put restrictions. Yeah, mine are even bigger. They have to be decent sales. They can't be $40, $50. That doesn't work. They've got to be $100, $200, $300. So yeah, I have a few of those.
I personally don't do this. And I don't see me ever, I'm not saying ever, because I don't want to say ever, but in the near future, I don't think that I would. I always be like, I'll buy it from you for this amount, and then I'll go sell it, and all the money will be mine, because it's easier in my brain for tax purposes and everything else. Because I wouldn't have that many. So yeah, I just don't do it. People ask, and I turn them down, and then I shoot them this ridiculously low offer on their item.
I don't do close personal friends, meaning real close circle.
Right. That would make
that. And I had a thing with my store too. I really, when you have a retail business, a lot of people come to you, so it's very tricky. You don't want to burn a relationship somehow. So it was tough there. They would always come in and you would work deals out, but you had to make sure it was the right deal, that kind of thing. But my rule is no close friends.
Yeah, and I don't do it, and I don't see myself ever doing it either. I'm like Julian. I would rather, if you want to sell it, let me look at it and let me buy it from you, just because I have enough going on my own plate already to add in. I don't have time to add in consignment. It's just not realistic for me to do. Sue, I will answer this real quick without reading the whole thing. Can I block someone who hasn't bought from me? Yes, you can. There is a quick link on your eBay Seller Hub to block bidders, and it's one of my favorite links. I use it a lot.
I do too.
Yes. Layden Miller, a $4 super sticker. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you a dolphin. Super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it, my dolphin. I hear an echo.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
I don't know. Maybe it'll go away. It wasn't there before. Michael Carter, when you list multiple items, eBay asks how much to charge shipping for each additional item. What amount do you use?
Depends on the size of the item. Depends on how much the item weighs. I do with sports cards. I get a lot. People are always asking for combined shipping if I buy 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So it just depends on the weight of the item. But usually it's not. The bulk of the shipping comes from the original weight of the purchase. Everything on there is going to be much less. So it just depends on the weight of the item.
Yeah, same thing. It really depends on each item individually. I don't sell a whole lot of multiple items, but if I do, that's the same way I set the first price, look at the second, and then I might just go free or $1 or whatever. It just depends. You have to just use your judgment on each item.
Yeah, if you're doing like a multiple listing, I actually only have one of those, and it's free shipping, so they could buy a whole bunch and it would be the same.
That's a good
But
idea.
I don't do a lot of free shipping. It's like literally my only one because I need them gone. So I go buy them all. So.
Yeah, and you have to, I think one of the big things, like Carrie's saying he has sports cards, but if you have shirts and one is first class, two might bump you into priority and almost double the cost of shipping. So really look close if that weight's going to bump something from first class to priority. I don't do many multi-quantity, and most of it I'll just add a few dollars because it's already priority. So it's just going to be whether or not multiples make it oversized. Suzette over on Facebook. Is delist and relist really a thing on eBay?
Activity is the thing on eBay. Relisting and delisting is an activity. It's keeping your eBay store active. I don't know if any of us really understand, what is it? What's the name of the algorithm? I forgot. But I don't know if any of us.
Cassini. I don't
Cassini.
know.
Cassini.
Yeah,
something like that. So I don't know
Whatever.
if any of us perfectly understand it, but it seems like whenever you're more active, whether it's relisting and delisting or just listing or going in and even updating photos, editing stuff, I think that all helps. You want to be active in the store. The more I guess, just from my own personal experience, I've noticed the more active I am from a day-to-day basis, the more items I sell. I mean, I have anywhere from 600 to 800 items listed at any given time on eBay. And if I'm not listing for a few days, my sales drop. But if I start, if I'm consistently listing, the sales stay consistent with the new stuff as well as my old stuff moves. There's something to it. Don't completely understand it, but it's the way it is.
I use it sparingly, but what I do is when I sell an item, it pops to my listing page, and I will scroll down every night and look at maybe the top 50 items, and then I will look at what's going on there and maybe adjust that item that way. So I look at my listing, scroll down, and there might be a requirement that you need. So I'll go to the requirement, change that. So some of that's how I do it. Every night I look at the listing page, let it run down a little bit, make an adjustment maybe to a price of an item. You said, hey, because you can't remember all 12. I have 1,200 items. Can't remember all 1,200. So you go in and say, hey, you know what? That needs to be readjusted price-wise. And then you can maybe just quickly change the title. Boom, hit it. That's kind of how I do it.
Yeah.
I do it sometimes if I know I'm not going to list a lot. I agree. Like, definitely activity in your store is really good. So if I know for some reason, if I'm going to go thrifting or sourcing for like 3 or 4 days and do YouTube and like do all that stuff, then I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what Perry said. I'm going to do like relist things, change some things around, send a whole bunch of offers and do all that, because about 3 days, I will see a significant drop if I'm just not doing anything, like very significant. You can see it.
Yeah, and I don't ever delist and relist. But I'm listing. I list 99% of the time every single day, and I send out offers as soon as they're available. That's one of my OCD things. I can't send offers to buyers on my phone. I send it to all of them. I'm like a little crazy about that. First I wanted to say the disgruntled octopus over in Australia. Hello, thank you for watching. I know Duncan, who is really active in our Death Pile Destruction Facebook group, is Australia as well. I've had quite a few Australia viewers. So you guys over in Australia, thank you for watching. I think it's like midday there. I think tomorrow. It's already tomorrow in Australia. I'm learning the times now that they're coming in my chats more often. Brenda wants to know, when you have an eBay item, you check the sold comps. Do you hit the sell like this button? I do it all the time, but my items don't seem to sell like they should.
Oh, yeah. I always do sell similar. It's just simpler. A lot of the stuff's already auto-filled. And one thing I would say beyond that, what I like to do is I like to see what the lowest price currently on eBay is for that particular item. This is how I do it. And then I'll go, I want to see an item. I want to see a sold comp to see like somebody's listing that was successful. And then I do sell similar based off a sold comp, not a current listing. And then I could also at that same time see what the basic general range is. I could see that, maybe at this moment, this is going a little bit less than market, but almost always, honestly, I'm aggressive reselling. If I buy an item for a couple bucks and it's going for 30 on eBay and the low is, 30, I'm going to price it at 29 bucks. And if somebody that day offers me 22 plus shipping, I'll take it. I just want to churn and burn. I want my items out the door. I don't want to hold on to them. That's just how I've been doing it for the last 10 years. So.
Yeah, I do it similarly, just like you do. I hit that sold comp. That's the key. I look at the sold comp. Now I do it a little differently because I use a little bit of what I like to call it psychology, and I do not do free shipping. So I'll find the lowest one and make sure. So if it's got a free shipping, I will figure my shipping in and drop my price down. Let's say it's $20 and then they're at 29, I'll put $9.95 shipping. So psychologically, I'm playing the $20 instant look at, oh, wow, that's $20, but I have shipping. But when they start to combine it, they see free. The other thing that people have to do when they hit that sell similar is you've got to check the item specifics in that listing. It is so important. It comes in play where you find a golf club, let's say, you find the right shaft, the right everything, because golf clubs have many different shafts and so forth. But you've got a right-handed, but it's a left-handed. Now, if you don't go into item specific and switch that to right-handed, you kind of can get messed up. So you really got to check the item specifics and make sure those are correct. So when you do that.
Yeah, I agree. I also do the sold, go to sold and then sell similar from sold and never do it from ones that are actively listed. I do the same thing, make sure like free shipping, or I do all calculated other than that one thing I just said. So make sure all that stuff is there, and then exactly go into your specifics and make sure, because I've been caught on that golf club thing. I had, and I go through it and I'm pretty good at it. But sometimes when you go through and you are finished, I kid you not, I think it switched it back. And it happened like 3 or 4 times.
You can mix. Yeah, you can mix. I mean, miss flex left.
Oh yeah, you can miss all that stuff. So definitely go in there and check those, because it's gets a little tricky. Depends on what you're listing.
Yeah.
And you'll get people who will search by those specifics and they don't even read your title that says it's right-handed and they think it's left-handed. They buy it, you ship it, and then they're like, no. And then you go look and they're right. And I've had that happen size-wise. Like I forgot to switch the size in the item specific.
Mm-hmm. And she's gone. She has a cord that sometimes she hits. Totally will shut off her camera.
All right.
It happens. It happens to the best.
I didn't even touch it though. I didn't even touch it. Oh.
Welcome back.
Oh, that's funny.
Rachel says, say you know someone who sells a ton of shoes on eBay, but none of hers, the same names and the same quality. Why?
So you're saying, somebody who sells a lot of shoes, but yours don't sell? Is that what you're saying?
I think, yeah. And she's asking why. So what reasons, if they have the same shoes, what reasons do you think?
Without a listing in front of me, it's going to be probably one of a couple things. Usually to me, I would think it would be price. You're priced wrong for that particular model, or the photos might not be very sharp or clear. If you're not, especially with shoes, I'm not a big shoe guy, but if you're not cleaning them and making them look really sharp, that could be a deterrent. But I've had success. I mean, I've always said this: if you have, a gold coin, and you put it inside a microwave oven, and you take a picture on like a dirty towel in a microwave oven, and you have it undervalued by just a little, it's going to sell in a second. So a lot of times it's just the price. It's the price, and it could be the picture is another thing. Outside of that, it could be several other things. I'm sure, Mike, you have some ideas too.
Well, it could be price, but it could be the quality of the shoe too. I mean, the condition of the shoe probably plays a lot of that factor. So you got to be really careful there. The quality of the picture. I mean, pictures play a big factor. Yeah. I think the other sellers have people who follow them. So maybe they go, hey, you know what? I buy my shoes from this person. You're $1 under. They go, I trust this person, so I'm going to buy from this person. A lot of times it's purely price. It really is. Something's just doesn't sound right there. Because if you're saying that you've got a person with a lot of shoes that are selling and you're not selling any, there's something amiss there.
Yeah.
It's just,
what they just said, and then they said they're selling a lot of shoes. That means they're listing probably a lot of shoes too. So it goes back to the activity of the store. I don't know your activity of your store. Maybe you list 10, 20 a day. They're selling a whole bunch. Maybe they're listing 40, 50 a day. So they're
Yeah.
seeing like a more boost in their store just because they are listing a lot more items. So, but
Without seeing
Yeah.
the listing, I think it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree. I would say probably photos, title, and then of course your price, but they also might be promoting really high and
Yeah.
you're not.
Mhm.
So their shoes are getting bumped up on top of yours. So you don't know what's going on in the background. They might be paying an extra 10%. So all their shoes are at the top of the list where you might not be. So again, without knowing like store specifics, it's kind of hard. Misty Browning sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. I'll give you $1.
Super chat.
And Richard, I saw yours too. I will get yours after we answer a couple more questions. Misty, thank you so much. Then I got to go back and find. Oh, question. How often, if ever, do you send offers to watchers on your items?
I need to do a little bit better myself on that, to be honest with you. I've shown screenshots on Instagram of my, like what my sales are, and people are always like, "You need to send those offers, man. Send them right away." I'm not as OCD on about that as you are, but I will say this: every time I do it, it really does help. I get a couple sales almost every time, but for me, really, it's a couple times a week. But I would suggest every time, like you, Kat, every time you see them, send out an offer. Get it done. Get it out there. You'd be surprised how often those work and move items.
That's probably my weakest area. I don't do a lot of that. I do not do that. I let my items just kind of do it speak for themselves, so to speak. Like, like I said, I sell a lot of expensive items sometimes, like amplifiers and that. And I just, and I don't want them to, just come in and lower it. I'll wait for an offer. I have the best offer hit, but I need to probably improve that area. That area is something I could look at. Definitely.
I'm so quick on the draw. Sometimes there are no watchers, and I still do it. I think they just think about the item. I'm like, boom, gotcha. No. But it's literally like as soon as it pops up, if I'm on my phone and I'm on it, it's almost immediate.
Yeah, and mine is the same. And I have heard some people who weren't sending, who like Carrie said, I saw screenshots of their 90-day, and I'm like, 100 offer, like hand me your phone.
Mine's a lot more than that.
But they've tried just 5%. So I typically send 10 to 15%, depending on what it is and how long I've had it. I send offer to watchers a lot if it's on older items, because I'll send them 50% off to get it out of my store. If I've had it a long time, I'm like, okay, I have somebody half interested in this. I'm gonna make them want to buy it. So I get a lot of sales off of the send offers, but a lot of people have told me just 5% has made, which is the minimum to send the offer. 5% has gotten them a lot more sales, and I do it immediately because I feel like, oh, they just looked at my item, so now is the prime time to hit them with an offer for them to be more willing to buy it, because they just looked at it if I'm checking it.
Yeah, just think if you were a shopkeep, somebody's in your store, they're holding the item in their hand, they're thinking about it, and you go, "Hey, I'll give you a 10% off, 5% off, 15% off." A lot of people would strike. They would take it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's definitely my weakness. That one.
Miss Misty says, do any of you sell big items like furniture, and if so, on what platforms?
Yeah, if you guys want to see something, I got my little. That's
We're
what
gonna
we
go
do
on a field trip.
That's what we do in my store.
I
have a furniture store, furniture and antique store.
We'll make Carrie big. Yeah, go. Now's the time.
Oh yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I got furniture all over here. It's a little bit messy right now, but my girlfriend, she paints furniture, and we have been I haven't. I suck at painting furniture, but she's really good at it, and we've been doing it for years. So yeah, we got one of my first things before I started doing social media on Instagram for myself is built her Instagram and our Facebook. I think our store Facebook has maybe 25,000 followers or so, and locally here in Utah. So yeah, furniture's tough. The problem is, and we still haven't cracked this nut at all, is to try to figure out how to ship it effectively, like using U-Ship or something. We have a pretty strong.
I will talk about that when it's my turn.
Oh yeah, awesome, yeah. But we do something crazy. I live in northern Utah, and we deliver all the way to Vegas for free, which is 6 hours away. So we do some crazy stuff to try to move the furniture, but it's very lucrative. And if you're able to fix it up, whether that's restore it to its original quality, or paint it and make it something new. I mean, my girlfriend, she'll cut, vanities in half and turn them into nightstands. She turns
That's awesome.
dressers into coffee bars. So she does like some really creative stuff. So, and I have none of that ability. I just usually break stuff when I try to help.
Well, I was a furniture guy. I had a furniture store for 30 years. So
There you go.
I do look at items, and I did sell something this year that I actually picked up at a garage sale that this was the networking thing. I have another picker friend who said, hey, there were albums there. I went to go pick up the albums, and there was this mid-century modern, think of George Jetson, this huge Hutchin buffet. And believe it or not, I said, how much? They said $50. Before I was done, they had lowered the price to $30. I took it home. It fit in my Highlander. I got it home, polished it up, sold it on Facebook for $2,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I will only hunt furniture that is something like that. It has to meet a certain criteria. And right now, mid-century modern is very hot, especially where
True.
I'm at. It will go on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. So I have sold some furniture pieces, but I do not have. I'm in a small California home, and I can't keep it around long.
Where
My
are you
wife was
located, Mike?
it was sitting right behind me back here for about a week. And when your wife says, what are we doing? You move it. And I did sell it. So it was that cool. I wish I could figure out how to put a picture up of it. I'd show you it.
What were you asking, Carrie?
Oh, I was just saying, where are you located, Mike?
I am in San Jose, California. So Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah,
in the heart.
like I think like with furniture, it's very particular on where you live too. Because like I think of New York, I think of San Francisco area, Bay Area, LA. I mean, they're typically, I'm in Utah. So you guys are like 5 years ahead of us with whatever's in style. We'll catch up in about 5 years. But yeah, the mid-century modern stuff's super, super hot. I agree. Anything I pick up mid-century modern, it's gone
moving.
like that.
Yeah, it's definitely moving.
I don't actually. I think I've only sold like 1 or 2 pieces of furniture, and that was on Facebook Marketplace, like local pickup. I don't actually like seek it out. Well, number one, I don't know what I'm looking at, so that's always difficult when you don't know what you're looking at. So.
Cable again?
Yeah, I'm not even touching it this time. I gotta get a new cable. I gotta get a new one. So I have sold quite a few Ethan Allen pieces, and they've all sold on eBay. So my furniture goes on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, and I use UShip, which it's really, really easy. And Carrie, and the guy who did one of my first ones said he has a client who refinishes like you're talking about. I don't have time to do that. So I basically look for like mint, near perfect condition, Ethan Allen vintage pieces locally, on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
If I find a lot like 2 hours south, I'll go pick up like 5 pieces, and then I wait till my pieces get down, and I have room in the shed. Right now I don't. And on UShip, the first time I did it where I let them bid on like the delivery.
Yeah.
And that took a while. So what he said is, no, like we only look when people put the amount. So UShip will give you like a really
Cable.
They'll give you a really good estimate.
That's what I'm guessing.
And then
Yeah, estimate.
And
there's a freight charge. She did a video about it.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's always kind of freaked me out a little bit to do. I don't know why. Just one of those things. I feel like as soon as I do it, I'll be all into it. But
Yeah, no,
we haven't started doing that yet. We need to.
I dabble in it. I do not, I don't have the room for it. That's the one thing. If I had the room for it, maybe, but
That's a big issue too, is the room. Like when you buy furniture, it's like, obviously it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, we have a whole about 1,000 square feet here in this store that's devoted to Dawn's furniture. But she has a good following, on she doesn't do YouTube yet. I'm trying to get her on YouTube, but on TikTok, she's I think over 30,000 followers now. So I think we have a little bit of a market for her furniture, but taking that leap is tough.
And you get a lot of sales through like your social media, like they see which. That's amazing. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, like Instagram's wild. When I do stories half the time, stuff's gone quick.
I had to like unplug, replug, reload StreamYard. I don't even know where I was at on question. So what I was saying, like StreamYard will give you the estimate, and it has been spot on for me. And I actually have pushed it a little, and I'll like drop it by 50, and I list the job for 50 less than the average. And I've gotten a taker every single time. And eBay, when I do it, I put local pickup, and then in my listing, I put please message for a freight quote. And if they're, these pieces like yours sound like they're really unique. So they're going to read the description, see, oh, they will ship it. And then they message you your zip code. You just put in the dimensions on UShip, and the quotes have been like every single piece of furniture they've been spot on. So I haven't, and then I just invoice the buyer. I'll do it before if they haven't paid. Some of them pay, and then I end up having to PayPal invoice them for the shipping. But I have not had any issues at all with the furniture. It's slow. It's slow for me, because you have to find a person willing to pay $1,500 for Ethan Allen, armoire, or like one of mine I did was a lingerie, and it sold for like $1,100, and I think I bought it for $100. So I mean that's still like $700-800 profit after the fees.
Yeah,
is the shipping expensive? What's a dollar total? What would be? I'm just curious.
So I'm in Florida. So for me to New York, I want to say it was like $300 or $350 and they come to my house, pick it up, blanket wrap it, and deliver it. And the lady in New York was actually in like an apartment, and they delivered it to her door. The driver actually messaged me. She wouldn't let them in her apartment. They're like, we left it at the door. She wouldn't let us in. I'm like, okay. So you don't have to like pack or ship or anything. They come in, they pick it up, they haul it away.
That's nice. I love it.
Furniture I think is easy. I wish I had like the talent or somebody that refinished it like that. Cause he said he did so many shipments for that lady who did what you said, like found, decent quality wood pieces and like repainted them and kind of antiqued them. And he said he was delivering for her all the time for like over $1,000 a piece, for something. He said she got most of them like on the side of the road free and just refinished them.
We've done that many times. There's been times where we've been out garage selling and we've dumped an item, like a furniture item, and then replaced it with the one that was out on the curb. So because we didn't have enough room. We've had stuff out the windows. We've done everything throughout the years.
I'm trying to. Reinventing Rachel wants to know if any of us do counseling sessions or like training. I'm assuming she means for reselling.
I don't. I had one person wanting it bad enough that they paid me for it, but yeah, I don't offer it myself. I do a lot of videos though. I do daily videos on TikTok. I do and Instagram Reels and stuff, and I try to do as much YouTube as I can handle. It's a lot more of an endeavor than the shorter videos, but that's what I say. Just go watch as many videos as you can. And then, if you feel like you need specialized help, there is people who do it.
Yeah, I learned straight from YouTube, starting with Rally Roots, Reezy Resales, Craigslist Hunter. Those were my three people or groups right off the bat. I am teaching somebody right now. He's my son. My son has just started it. And we're doing videos with him. He's popping in, and it's quite amazing. He's 22. His average selling price right now is $88. He has sold 16 items. And so but I'm there. I'm on the phone. We couldn't do this without the phone. And he's coming behind me and following my pattern, but behind me. And he's doing really, really well. He's very, very enthused. So that's the only person I'm teaching right now. That's it.
Yeah, I don't. I do a lot of YouTube videos though. Sometimes
I do. I do not advertise it because I don't want to come across like I'm just fishing for that. I have two people I'm doing right now. I do 30-day one-on-one mentoring for $100. And I only take like 5 people. And that's because I'm constant, like they can call me, they can text me. And I do like an assessment and see what they need help with and work through it. And I've only done like 5 to 7 people total because I don't put it out there. I'm not, I don't need a bunch of that. But if people are specifically interested in that and email me, then I do. Cynthia, how do you send offers to watchers? You can only send it if it pops up on your screen. eBay will tell you send offers to watchers or buyers. I'm not sure how they put it.
Exactly.
Tammy has a question, and she might get a different answer. This is typically different for most of us on the show, no matter who the guests are. She said she's promoting her listings at 5%. She's wondering if she should go higher.
That's a good question. I would encourage you to do some testing. Try out a little higher. Try out a little lower. Some category, it's different. Like if you have something that's fairly unique, could be some benefits for promoting it. But other things, also items in categories that are super competitive, it might be super important to be maybe a little bit higher. But I usually do trending rate. I don't know why, just because it's simplest and it just pops up and I click it. And it works really well. I mean, I'd say a good 20 to 40% at times of my sales are promoted. So it's pretty effective tool. I haven't tried the pay-per-click yet. And I'm gonna avoid trying that as long as humanly possible. I think that's a black hole of wasting money. So I'm gonna stay away from it.
I don't do promoted listings. That's just me. I don't do them. I just let it run as a best offer kind of situation. And that's how I do it. I don't do them.
I just started doing them probably about a month ago. And I also do 5-ish%, depends on what, like golf clubs aren't that high. So I don't promote that high. But it's I do like between 2.5% to 5%. I don't go over. I have nothing promoted over 5%.
And I go overboard. That's why I said you're going to hear a different range. I do promoted. I think I'm doing plus 4% right now. But I have it capped out at 12. But I will say I'm starting to list my jewelry again. And there's a lot of competition from overseas on jewelry. So when I did jewelry before, I actually had to promote it like 15% to get decent sales because it was so overrun with competition from overseas. There's, like probably 1 million necklaces on eBay. And so I might have to separate my jewelry out and promote a little higher. I find I do better doing trending than when I was doing 5% flat. Because some of those might only be 2%, like Julian's saying. If it's not a really super competitive category, you're not going to have to promote at 5%. You could maybe promote at 2%. But if it's clothing or jewelry or something that's saturated, you might need to promote a little bit higher. Diana wants to know if we think a lot of our watchers are actually sellers.
That's a good question. I think once you get a little bit of a following, that's the case. I mean, I went from maybe, I don't know, like 200 people who follow my store to, I don't know if I'm at like 2,000 now or something weird. So I bet you a few. Yeah. But it doesn't really bother me. I'm not super worried about watchers or views on eBay. I'm just worried about sales because all it takes is that one person. So if you optimize it, make sure your item specifics are all there and there's no mistakes, I'm not a super, because sometimes if you have 18, 20, 30 watchers or something on an item, and it hasn't sold yet, why? Is it the price?
Right.
If you have that many watchers, there's a demand for it, but there's got to be something wrong at that point that nobody's pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I think there are people who do that. It doesn't bother me either. I hardly look at that. I'm like Carrie. I look at the overall picture, sales period. Just let it run.
Yeah.
That's where I think I need to come in and probably do some of those offers, send out offers, that kind of thing, a little bit more. But no, I don't. Yeah, I don't care if they watch. That's fine. I do not watch anybody else. So meaning I don't go in and watch. I do not go in and watch other items. I'm too busy to, go do that. I just don't. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. That's what I mean by my process. I'm like focused on what I do, and if I focus on what I do, things will take care of itself. I can't focus on somebody who's watching me or whatever. I just don't.
I've accidentally watched things that I've looked up because I was about ready to sell it. And I'll get an offer and I'm like, whoa.
Me too.
I don't want this.
Yeah, no, that's
already.
exactly. That's for, that's it too.
So I've done, so there might, so it might be, but I still, if they are, they still get the same offer that I send everybody else. Well, the watchers.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also, if you just look at an item, you don't have to watch it. It pops up for people to send an offer. I had that happen, and somebody sent me an offer, and my husband accepted, like he bought it because he thought they were offering on ours. So I had to be like, I really don't want, and be that person. I think on mine, I get a lot like that. A lot of my watchers might be viewers because I have, like Carrie said, I think I have like 17 or 1,800 people following my eBay store. So I think they're probably like watching to see if it sells, not like, so they're just keeping an eye on it. I don't watch stuff unless I'm personally wanting to buy it, and then I will watch it. And I watch it and sit and wait and hope that seller's like me and sends me an offer. I'll let it sit in my watch list. Deborah is wanting to know, Mike, she said she thought you said you were a bookseller. Did she mishear?
No, I am. Yeah, I do Amazon books. If anyone watches my videos, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I go and auction and buy a bin of books, just one. I do not have, I could buy 2 or 3 and sit there all day and do it, but I don't. I buy one a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those books then get put in on Friday, which I call Wild Card Friday for myself. That's the one day that I allow myself to catch everything up. I have no death pile, 0, absolutely nothing. Everything goes up. The books gets boxed and they get shipped out on Amazon. So to Amazon for FBA books. And it has been a pleasant surprise. It took me about 2 years to find the source. That's the hardest part of doing books, is the source. The one guy who's the big bookseller is Reezy, and Reezy resells, and he buys truckloads of those. So he's got a little warehouse and does that. So FBA books, I will tell you, it is not easy. Of all the platforms, Amazon to me is the most difficult because you don't get to talk to anybody. You get to talk to maybe somebody at eBay if you have a problem. Forget it on Amazon. You're just going to have to email. So you're not getting any help there. You have to watch a lot of videos. It can, but once you find a source and you get it down right, like I have, that's what I've done. Then you can draw in, I pull in anywhere from a net. I'll tell you my net is anywhere from $750 to $1,000 a week. That's net after everything's said and done for 3 days of books.
Yeah, Amazon. I did Amazon FBA books for a while, a couple of years ago, and ended up deciding to go with eBay. But the learning curve on Amazon is tough. If you think it's hard on eBay, Amazon's a little bit tougher.
It's the big animal. It's definitely, and you need more software. You need things to help you because there are other people out there. You need, Scout IQ. You need Scan Lister. You need a repricer. So my fixed costs are $100 a month for those 3 items. Well, and $100 counting Amazon, because Amazon's going to charge you $40 a month. So you're at about a fixed cost of $100. So you got to break that $100 first and then go from there. But I'll tell you what, it is exciting. I do love books. I wish I would read more, but I love finding the books. I love reading the bins and figuring out, why are these books in here? Who did somebody pass away? And it's a lawyer. And, it's kind of interesting. And I pull a lot of these very, very lucrative books. Sometimes you can get books worth $200-300. I sold a first edition John Muir for $500 that I pulled out of one of them. So there is very, very, very lucrative. I can see why a lot of people do books, but let me tell you, it's not easy. I don't want anybody to sit there and say Amazon, you hear I don't want to knock anybody. You hear all these stories, you can do it. All these ads that pop up, Amazon. I'm just saying it's pretty difficult.
It's a lot of work. eBay's a lot of work too. And people don't realize, like, you get out what you put in. It's not easy. We work a lot. I'm assuming this question is for you, Carrie. Mick wants to know what you post on TikTok.
Reselling content. When I started, it was like 2 years ago. I'm almost on my 2-year anniversary on TikTok. There was like 5 of us, and not everybody was talking about resale. But all I thought when I started was like, let's just talk about, what to look for. So I'll find something like this, chipmunk plush, and I'll be like, hey, I'm at the thrift store. I found this chipmunk. It's a quarter, and it sells for $5 plus shipping. And that's why everybody keeps saying plus shipping to me all the time wherever I go, because I say that over and over and over and over. But yeah, really, it's just educational, short, typically like about 10 to 20 second content on reselling. So it's what to buy, what not to buy. People love those stay away from this stuff videos. I did a video today on just weird stuff I find at estate sales. It doesn't have to be so specific to, I'm at the point where I'm trying to see if I can expand it beyond people who are just interested in reselling, but just interested in the lifestyle and interested in the weird treasure hunting things we encounter when we're out and about. But yeah, you can post anything on TikTok though.
Yeah.
It's mostly known for dancing. If you guys are good at dancing.
do that.
Go dance on TikTok. I'm assuming DMB means to me, do you get a tracking number with, I'm assuming this is supposed to be you ship. You do not. But the cool thing is most of the drivers have GPS, so you can actually like watch your item as it's like moving. Wow. And then you're notified when it's delivered. And the U-Ship driver does not get their payment until you release the funds to them. So I message my furniture buyer, hey, is it there? Did it arrive safely? Before I release that payment to the driver. So they don't just get that money for the freight until you have said, yes, it arrived safely, and you release the funds to them. So, but all you do is just mark it as shipped without a tracking number, because I don't think much freight has a tracking number, but you don't get dinged. And when it's freight, you don't have the shipping limitations like you do for Priority or FedEx. It's not like, oh, in 3 days, somebody has to come pick up this piece of furniture. So it's a little bit more lenient. Paula wants to know what part of Florida I am in. I am in North Florida. I am about an hour from Gainesville and Ocala, and 2 hours from all the major cities. So I'm 2 hours from Jacksonville. I'm 2 hours from Orlando, 2 hours from Tampa. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have 11 acres. So I could have a farm. I mean, it's kind of a farm. But I like peace and quiet, and I like my space, and I can have my shed village out here. And if I ever need more, I have plenty of space to put more of them. So, yeah, I love being out. And now I do have to drive an hour to work. I work in Gainesville, so I have to drive an hour. Heather wants to know, how important really are photos? I'm a terrible photographer.
That's a really good question. I'm not a big believer in you having to have whatever, like 1,000 megapixel camera. I don't think that's necessary. You just need clarity. You need to be able to clearly see what the item is. Of course, eBay always pushes the white background. I mean, that's kind of important. I just think you need to be able to see if there's any flaws and just have a clear picture. In my opinion, pictures are the new description. 20 years ago on eBay, it was all about description. Now, I don't think anybody reads the descriptions, especially on mobile. So if there's, some sort of damage, or if you need to have measurements known for an item, you do want to put the measurements in your description to cover yourself. But, do a picture with the measurements in them, even if it's written down. If there's, if I have a cookie jar, I just sold a Taz cookie jar and there's a chip in it, do a picture where you're pointing at the chip, So pictures are important to a level of where they can clearly see if there's any damage in the condition of the item. Beyond that, you don't want them too terrible, but I don't think they're important if they're clear, but they're not like, you don't have to have professional grade photography. I don't think that's important.
Yeah, I don't use any white background. I have a granite countertop about 4 foot by 6 foot, and it all goes on to that. And I shoot, and there's some background stuff. I just use an iPhone. I use my iPhone, and the iPhone is a tremendous camera. This new one that's coming out is even going to be better. And I'm so surprised at the quality. I mean, and I've been doing that since I started. I have not, and I have access to a 42 megapixel camera in my closet. Why? You don't need to do that, and it just creates a much bigger file to upload too. So, and what I like about the iPhone and the desktop is I can airdrop my photos. Once I found that, I used to be a PC guy, but once I am so amazed at Apple when I do a airdrop and it's like there in 12 photos instantly, very quickly. So that's why I use the desktop. I just take it over here, tap them, upload, and they're in there, and I'm off and running. So that's how I work. No white background, no box, no nothing.
Yeah, I always use my phone. I'm a phone lister. And so it's really, and I have a Samsung. It's a newer one, like a 20 or 20s. So it's a good camera. But I agree, like not super blurry, but not like you don't have to really overthink it. And it really depends on I sell a lot of tools, and a lot of the guys that buy my tools, I mean, they're like old tools. So, I mean, they don't need
Right.
They're going to actually buy like impact sockets. You don't need a good picture of an impact socket. Is it cracked? No. I don't really care what it looks like. Just send it to me because they're going to use it.
Does it work?
So, but some things like glass and all that stuff, you got to get a little bit creative, and things that reflect and stuff, but not super blurry, but you don't have to go like super, super crazy, and really, as long as they can see imperfections, and definitely point the imperfections out on your pictures. That's super important.
Yeah, and I use my phone as well. I think like centering, I dropped my video I did on photography in the chat for you. I was a professional photographer for 8 years before I was a nurse, so I'm a little OCD about my pictures. I just think if the big thing with photos for me, if there are two items and one person's pictures look better, make the item look better, a person's gonna tend to buy that one over yours. And I think they can be important and in that situation, and definitely, like everybody says, showing the imperfections. And I'm a white background person, but I don't think you have to do white backgrounds. I started doing it because I heard they'll pull up on Google, like Google image search, a lot easier if you use white background. So like if somebody's out shopping and wants to buy one of this and they try and find it with Google Lens, the white backgrounds helps. But like I know a lot of people that use wood grain, you know, and just different like pattern backgrounds as well. And I think that makes them stand out. Like the pattern backgrounds of everybody else is using white are gonna like kind of pop and might draw people's eye. So I think just basic focus and having the items centered and showing the flaws is definitely important. Richard, did I forget your super chat? Did I forget Richard's? I did, didn't I? Where did it go, though? Please give. Oh, I did lose it.
Oh, no.
Now Larry's giving me a super chat to give Richard a dolphin.
I'm ready for the dolphin. Let's see this.
Okay, I'm going to give a dolphin for Richard twice. Richard, I lost it when my computer went wonky, and I had to get out and get back into StreamYard. And now Mark, my two moderators that help me the most that I should be paying are the ones giving me. Guys, you don't have to do that. Both these guys, Mark and Richard, OG and Z, and Otnip Droplets, help me so much. They are an amazing help to me, and I should be paying them and sending them super chats. I'm trying now. And Larry is an amazing guy. I met Larry up at look, Larry, I'm wearing my reseller rally shirt. Actually, we met up in Cincinnati. Me and Larry did. All right. I'm going to give like 3 dolphins for Richard, Larry, and Mark now.
Super chat.
That's 1.
Super chat.
Okay, 1 more, guys, and I'm done with my dolphin.
Super chat.
My dolphin haters are now very upset with me. I do have them. I'm going to put Julian's question up here.
That's my dad.
That's your dad.
That's my dad. He's the original. He's not the original Julian, but.
Does anybody do VHSs, or would you know when you would get one graded?
I do. And I'll tell you what it was. So I was at my auction, and one of the other people who bid on some things saw some books and said, "Hey, take anything you want out of this bin." Well, I did a dive in, and I found a first edition Star Trek, Wrath of Khan, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, both fully sealed in the Paramount thing. I had been watching Auction Professor, who I really like. I like the Auction Professor. And he was talking about the VHS tapes. I had already known. Now, this is the thing. I am sending those 2 in to have them graded by IGS. But IGS is very busy. They can't even touch it until now, October 22nd, for me to ship it. I'm doing it as an experiment. It's $65 a tape. But now when you go on eBay and you look at some of these VHS tapes, you see, $1,600, $800, $900. The reason I'm doing it is I want to see if it's real. I want to get mine graded, put it up for sale, and let's see what happens. Because I don't know if those sales of, 2,000, 3,000, we're all familiar with the McDonald's, setup. You know what I mean? We're all familiar with that. So I want to know if this is real. So that's what I'm doing. I do look for VHS tapes. They must be sealed. They must not have the UPC code for me. UPC code tells you it's newer. You're just basically probably not going to do well unless it's horror. So yeah, if you can find some good horror VHS, you can sell them. They're out there.
Here's what I believe is happening with the whole VHS thing, because last summer I was living through, being a big sports card reseller, I was living through the massive market influx of
There was
people
an
coming
influx.
in. Yeah, and a lot of the reason was not just the people like me who have always been selling cards. People are coming in to invest. There's investors who are going,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? We can diversify our portfolio by having cards as well as real estate and vending machines or whatever. And I think what they did is, okay, they got into cards and they're like, what's next? And then it was like, oh, let's grade video games. And then they're like, okay, well, what's next? Well, let's grade VHSs. I think the money's in what's next. I don't know if you're going to be grading like I was talking with my girlfriend about this today. Are they like sealed 8-tracks cassettes? Are we going to be doing, like reel to reels? Are those going to be the next thing if they're sealed? I don't know.
How about the Oreo cookies?
Yeah, that one I think I'm a little skittish on that one.
Have it graded? I mean, there's the Pokemon's out right now. Am I going to have a 9.8 Oreo cookie and then drop it?
Serious? They're going to grade everything. Yeah. Grading tools. Why not? Let's grade some tools, vintage tools.
No, I doubt you don't know. So you ride that wave. So that's why I'm doing it. I got to see what this is about. See what they grade. I don't know how he's going to grade it. I mean, it looks pristine to me, but it's probably, a 9.5. I don't know. But we're going to find out.
Right.
We'll
it's a
find
pretty cool
out.
job, though, grading VHS cassette tapes in 2021.
Like VHS tapes.
And he's got people sending them in. He's that busy. I missed the first deadline, and then he said I can't take any more till the 22nd. So he's getting them.
IGS is the main one, right?
Yes, IGS. IGS.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Carol wants to know, do you donate items that just won't sell, or do you keep them listed forever?
I should actually take more tubs of stuff to get donated. What I do oftentimes is I'll take it to a local auction, or I'll give it away to somebody. But donating is a good idea, and you can take a tax write-off, I believe, most of the time with those donations. So that's probably a good idea. A lot of times I just keep things listed for years, like years and years and years before I even think about it.
Yeah. I do garage sale. So what I do is once a year, I fully go into I'm working out of a garage, literally out of, that's it. There is, if you walked into my house, you would say, what does he do for a living? You wouldn't know. There's not one item. That's the rule me and my wife have come up with. Happy wife, happy life.
Richard said that earlier. Yeah.
The garage is mine. Okay. There's about a 4-foot walkway to the washer and dryer, but I clean it out every year, have a garage sale. And at that time, I'll either just go free or load it up and take it to Savers or somebody and donate it and get the write-off that way. So, but even doing that, it's weird. Even cleaning out, it's so difficult to let something go sometimes. It really is. Even I tell myself, I have no emotional attachment to anything I have. Really don't. And even when I go out there and I look at it, I go, it's going to sell. And, you got to tell yourself, sometimes it goes, no, it's not. You're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself. You got to be
kind of an optimist in this game, though. You have to have that idea.
Yeah, you have exactly. That's what it is. You invested in it, right? I have a good friend who does picking, and we have a saying: if you buy $1 or $2 item, it don't sell, you throw it away or give it away. It doesn't matter. It's $1 or $2. I'm not trying to demean $1, but it is $1, and maybe it's taking up space or just move on from it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
if it's made it to my, it's listed in my store, I usually don't mess with it I haven't messed with them yet. So, but if it's like in the garage and just looking at me and I'm like, it usually will get donated back. If it doesn't make it past the intake area, then it usually gets donated or whatnot. But if it's made it past then, I've taken pictures of it, it's going to be here for a while.
Yeah, and I let mine sit pretty much. I do have a good friend. I haven't went to see her in a while, named Pepper, who she doesn't want to sell online at all. She only sells in she has like a ongoing garage sale, and she buys pallets. So what I'll do sometimes if I have something that's not selling, I'm like, hey, do you think this would sell well in person? And we trade, because there's some high dollar items that she gets in pallets that people don't buy at a garage sale. So her and I would just exchange merchandise. And at that point I would end the listing. Like I did it with a bunch of jeans. She's like, do you have some jeans? I'm like, okay, here, let me bring you the jeans. And she had filters, for random water filters and stuff that sell high on eBay. And we would just swap it out, even cost. And she gets something she thinks she can sell. I used to do yard sales when I did pallets because I got so much junk. That's why I quit doing pallets. But I have a hard time. I'm one of those yard sales you go to that I'm like, I can sell this for $10 on eBay. I know what I can get, and I have a hard time lowering it, and I have a hard time. Like, I put stuff for $1 and they want to give you a quarter. And I'm like, it's $1. Like, so I have not done yard sales in a very long time because I don't deal well with low ballers. Gwenna wants to know if any of us have changed our store name, and did your followers go with you?
On eBay or something? I have. Here's the funny thing. Like, our eBay is under the store business, which is my girlfriend. So if you ever want to see American Arbitrage's eBay store, it's Plumber Girl 3. So that we can't figure out how to change it, so we just left it. So yeah, I've never done it. But if you change your store name, I don't think any of your followers or it would really make any difference.
Yeah,
on eBay at least.
Yeah, I've never changed it. It's been the same. Yeah. So no.
Yeah, I think if you did change it, it would just keep the same followers.
Yeah. And I have changed mine because we started out as Brad Mart, which is my husband, because this was supposed to be his business while I was nursing. But here I am because that's what I do. So I have now, so it was Brad Mart deals for over a year after I started my YouTube channel. And then finally I said, I'm going to, keep the branding even across all platforms. And I changed my eBay store name to the Nurse Flipper, and all of my followers went with me. Cat Funk wants to know if any of us put anything on OfferUp.
Ooh, I haven't done OfferUp in like 4 or 5 years, but I do know they have the shipping option, much like Facebook Marketplace. I think it's something to try out. I'm always for trying out different sites and see what works for you. But honestly, I don't do OfferUp myself.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go get him. He's a little he's blind. He's blind. He's like 18 years old. He's blind. He just bounces around.
Having a good time.
Yeah. So where were we?
Do you put anything
do I use
on
OfferUp? Rarely. I use Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. That's what I use.
I only look to see if anything's on OfferUp that I want to buy, but I've never listed anything on there.
And I used to, but I feel like it's been like 4 or 5 years. I feel like the OfferUp trend has kind of went to the wayside, just like Craigslist kind of went to the wayside.
It used to be Let Go got taken by OfferUp, right?
Oh yeah, they like merged.
I couldn't think of that name. I was
that.
like, it was another name.
Yeah, Let Go.
Yeah, no, they like merged. Lucinda's asking about, and I think we can all answer this maybe. She's asking about selling books on Amazon versus eBay or Able Books. She has a bunch to list.
Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, like I don't do as many books as Mike does, but I will say this about Amazon versus eBay, because I have sold quite a bit on Amazon throughout the years. eBay, for me, eBay is for book lots oftentimes, although you can do it pretty successfully on Amazon. So if you have, the whole Harry Potter series, put it together, this series, that series. Also, I did really good a couple summers back with first edition Stephen King books. So if you can figure out some of these nice first edition ones, you can sell them on Amazon as well. But I love eBay for reselling because you can kind of be aggressive with offers. You can communicate, I feel like, a little easier, or the culture is a little bit more communicative with the buyer, so you can make deals and stuff like that. But outside of that, that's the only difference I have with the two.
Yeah. So what I do is when I buy my bin of books, I have the scannings of FBA that are going to go in Amazon, and then I pull out what I call the ancillary stuff, which is going to go on eBay. Sometimes on Amazon, one of the hardest things with Amazon is you're restricted on books, even textbooks, certain ones you're restricted on, but you're not restricted on eBay. There's a rule. If a book is going to sell for $50 on eBay, it's probably going to sell for $100 on Amazon. It's that different sometimes. So you really want to get it on Amazon, but you can't. So that's what I do. I will then push it over to eBay and sell it quickly, like textbooks and things like that. So it's out there, not selling them on Amazon. You can send them in as fulfilled by merchant, but that's a really big pain to me, because then you are responsible for shipping the book, returning the book. The reason why I send in my books to Amazon FBA, once they're into Amazon, I have no choice about returns. If they come back, they come back. I don't have to sit there and fret over it, worry over it. It just comes back. It's part of business. Move on. And it's very, very clean. So that's why I do FBA. But all these other ones I do put up on eBay, and I make some pretty darn good money selling these books that I just found one today, a 7-book lot that will sell for $90, and it will sell for $90. That one set will pay for the $100 that I paid for the bin. Then everything else is pure profit. So you will find them.
I don't sell books.
I did them on Amazon, but now I do all my books on eBay. I haven't sent into Amazon in over a year. I had like a first edition sign that I got like for $1 in an online auction lot that went on. I put it on auction and went up for over $300. So
yeah,
I don't go through them like a ton, but if I will like kind of browse them, and if something sticks out to me, especially like series and sets, like Carrie was saying, like if you can get like a whole set of books, typically those are, you know, they might not be a lot, but they might be like $40 to $50. And if you're paying $1 a piece at the thrift store, you know, and you have the whole set, then that's a good profit, and sending media mail and books aren't going to break, you know. Go ahead.
The one thing that is red hot right now is manga or anime. So if you're out there and you're seeing manga books and anime, and you can get them for cheap, they can go for some very, very big money. Now, getting back to what Carrie said, those Harry Potter books, the 1 through 7 series, I have probably sold 10 or 12 of those. I pick them out of the bins. I get a 1, a 2, a 3. I stack them. The next day, maybe I get 1. And then I've built these huge lots. And they sell for anywhere between $50 and $70 for the lot. So
also genres. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Genres. So I've had
luck. Gary, and then I'll ask him. I was going to ask Mike something. You talk.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to know, like, Mike, when you say the bins, are you meaning like a bin you bought, or do you mean like the Goodwill?
I buy a book. A bin is a 4-foot by 4-foot by 5-foot watermelon bin.
It's a, what are they called? Gaylord.
It's a Gaylord. Yeah, I should call it a Gaylord. Okay. And it's full of books. There's probably 1,000 in there. I don't know how many are in there, but there's a ton. And then I get them at 9 and I scan them. Boom, boom. I just scan them, stack the ones from Amazon, the ones that I think are going to be value on eBay, put them aside, research them before I leave. What is great about this is I do not have to take those books home that I do not want. The company, they destroy them for me. So I'm only taking home the things that I want. I do not have to worry about the books. They go into the trash. We mark the Gaylord. I go back there. I actually get to look at what bin I want. I say, I want this bin, and they pull it out for me. Now, I could do 2 or 3 if I wanted, but I don't. I'm happy with what I do with Amazon. There's some other issues with Amazon where they are now restricting the number of items that you can put in. Amazon is running out of warehouse space, and it's because of this Alibaba thing where everybody was buying like 4,000 cell phone cases and then private label. So they're sending them to Amazon, and Amazon's saying, look, unless you can sell those 4,000 cases within 60 or 90 days, we're going to put restrictions now on you. You can only put in 1,000. So I'm at that level. That's what's happening to me. And I've been doing it for 2.5 years. They say, okay, Mike, you can put in 1,000. Then they'll bump you to 1,200. Then they'll push you back down. It's this weird, that's what I'm talking about, why it's so difficult. You'll be thinking you're cruising along. I had one book guy that he had 3,000 books in. And I said, you're not restricted on the number? He goes, no. Guess what happened? About 3 weeks ago, he got restricted. He had to dump 700 books in order to just put in new inventory. And I haven't seen him in 3 weeks. And he basically, I think it crushed him a little bit because now he's having to deal with that. Now I have a way of dealing with that. I don't need to do like Reezy resales. Reezy does his because it's his livelihood. I don't need to do that. So I'm perfectly happy with my 100 books going in a week. And I got a rotation. Yeah. So that's that. Again, I love books. I would do Amazon. If somebody told me I could do Amazon all the time, if there wasn't the restrictions, if there wasn't all these little issues that they put on you. It's very nerve-wracking. I hate to say that, but it can be, just the interface. So
yeah. Now, Carrie, what were you saying? Genres of books?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, I've had this happen a lot at garage sales or estate sales where the seller has collections of certain types of books. I was at one maybe about 5-6 months ago, and the gentleman had nothing but history, and it was all like different wars, World War II, World War I. So I picked them all up at a really, really good price. And then I was making lots of he had such in-depth history books that I was doing, okay, Pacific theater lots, European theater. I was dividing it up into the theater, and that really helps you move books that might only be worth $3 or $4 shipped on eBay or Amazon, but now you can get for 4 books 20 plus shipping, because you basically made something desirable. It's arbitrage,
like
that
a
wasn't
custom
desirable.
bundle.
Custom bundle, exactly.
So one of the questions I remember that I saw back when my cord decided to not like me, she was saying she was at the point of 250 listings, and with like the recycle over, it was going over 250. So she was asking if that is the point that we would recommend that she get a basic store.
Yeah, I would say if you have 250 listings, I would be getting a basic store. There's the benefits are, you can promote your I don't know, you can do the sales. I think you can do promoting
sales,
either way. Yeah, so
yeah, you can promote either way, I heard.
Yeah, I've had a store for forever, like 9-10 years. So I don't know what it was like before. But yeah, you can do the sales, which is huge. A 10% off sale, a 30% off sale. The cool thing is, like, you could do multiple sales at once as well. So you can be like, this is a tier for 10%, and then I'm sick of this stuff, 50%, be as aggressive or unaggressive as you want. So yeah, I would get one if you have 250 listings at that point, personally.
Yeah, I do the sales. I think that's what you need it for. I love to do sales. I will, break it down just like Carrie said, 10, 15, 20, 30. That's kind of my way of trying to get rid of stuff, is through a sale. And I do those pretty aggressively. And then you can just run a 30% off if you want to crash your stuff out. You just want to try to get rid of it. Even putting it 30%, some of that stuff doesn't sell. And that's the reality. And you have to say, okay, it's not going to work. So what am I going to do with this thing? It either goes or it just sits around.
Yeah, I would probably go ahead and get a store at that point. That would make sense. And then if we're talking about sales, I actually don't really run any. I might run 1 or 2 sales like a month. If sales are like really pretty terrible, I'll go ahead and do like a weekend sale. But other than that, I really don't run them too terribly often.
Judy, yes, you have to sign up and get a store. So there's a free store, and then I think it goes to $9.99. So when you're just listing, you don't have an actual store. So with each store level, you get X amount of free listings and certain other benefits, like not the lowest level, but the one above it and higher. You get like free shipping, supplies every quarter, and things like that. But if you're just listing, then no, you do not technically have a store. Krause House, Sift, and Thrift, do you reorganize your inventory periodically?
I probably should more. That's for sure. I'm so. I mean, I don't know about you guys, especially in the summer. I'm bringing in so much new inventory all the time, especially on the weekends when I go out garage selling into the swap meet. I am just trying to hold on and continue to ship everything that I'm selling. So, in a perfect world, I think reorganizing, relisting, seeing what needs to go, what doesn't need to go, and being as systematic as possible is ideal. That's definitely something I struggle with, though.
Yeah,
it's kind of dangerous, and why that is you can lose items. Forget if you reorganize. I am very, very good at knowing where everything is in my. If you saw it, you can watch one of my videos. It shows you me doing that, where I clean my garage out for the garage sale. But you can lose things, and then you're in trouble if you can't find them. So I do not use bins. I have racks, and I pretty much know where everything is at. So when I redo it, I'm very, very careful to keep most items in the same area. And then my eyes tell me, I'm pretty good at that. This is where this is. I might set up an area for games and that kind of thing. So I break it down there, and I have some bins for small. So I know if it's small, it's probably in over here somewhere. It's very chaotic, but it's my system. So your system may be different. But again, it can be dangerous if you don't find an item later on. And it's happened to me. I have not found an item, and you kick yourself, spend a day thinking about a $25 item. You go, what the heck? Where did I put that thing?
Yeah.
So careful.
The only time I just did it recently, like twice, I guess. It was kind of like the same thing, but I had to put more shelving in, so then I had to like reorganize where that shelving went and everything. But yeah, I sold something and it was on the shelf that I had moved, and it was like, now it was here
Mm-hmm.
prior to this. Where did it go? And it took forever. It was actually sitting right there. It took
Yeah.
forever to find that thing. So I only do it when I'm like adding shelving. I'm still building like what I want. So like when I add shelving, I move stuff around, and it actually creates more chaos than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I only reorganize like on the shelf that it's on. So like as I'm putting up new inventory, I'll kind of like reorganize what's there on that shelf. You know, I do a lot of breakables. So like if stuff can be stacked safely and make me more room on the shelf, then when I'm putting stuff away, I'll reorganize one shelf. But as far as like reorganizing it all, like I have almost 4,000 listings that would, I can't imagine, it would just cause chaos. So I do like section, but it has to stay in the section it's marked in, because otherwise I'm like out.
Yeah, you're dead. That's going to cause trouble.
It would be horrible. Picking the 603, what are your thoughts on pallet purchases? They're giving an example of Wholesale Ninjas. So
I haven't used Wholesale Ninjas, so I couldn't speak directly on Wholesale Ninjas. But the things you need to realize when you're doing pallet purchases is just the intake of it. You have to be really careful. It's a lot of stuff. You have to be organized. One of the first lessons I learned in reselling, I used to go to this live auction down in Salt Lake City where they were basically selling like, broken up pallets basically. And I was next to a guy and he was like, you make the money, in the odds and ends, the big things are obviously what you bought the pallet for, or this lot for, but you make the money and all that other stuff. You have to figure out how to get rid of it if you want to really make a good profit. And that's the key with the pallet. And also remember, there's going to be some broken stuff that isn't working, stuff that's slightly damaged or not. Honestly, I'd stay away from pallets as much as you could in general, unless you can get very specific pallets or, have a manifest so you know what you're getting.
Yeah, I don't do any pallets. Just for that reason that Carrie said, I don't know what's in there, what's broken. I see these guys during the auctions where I do the books. They're buying basically gaylords of, stuff, and you can see the top. You have no idea what's in the bottom, and you'd be amazed at what some of this stuff goes for, what they're paying. And I'm shocked. It's like, and these guys take this stuff and they take it to a flea market and then they sell it there. But again, they're very lucky because all the stuff they don't want, they go through it. It goes into their compactor, so that helps them. But it's really, really risky as far as I'm concerned. And you got to have the space, right? Because if the pallet has to be shipped to you, you need that space to get rid of that. And then you got to get rid of it, right? That's why these guys on the dock, they're lucky. And me, the books, if I had to take the books with me, I probably wouldn't do it. I'm lucky I can get rid of them there.
Yeah.
And that's so important. Is I don't do pallets, and it's multiple reasons. One is definitely I don't have the space for it. Two, like you said, it comes to you. Now, like, I got to get rid of half the stuff that's broken. All that takes a whole bunch of time. It's the same thing with buying, like, I bought a couple storage units. I do not have the space to be doing that because all that has to come into some place. Then you have to sort it. Then you have to get rid of half of it. It's just, so I can't even speak on Wholesale Ninjas because I have no idea. But I don't even look at pallets. I thought about it for like 20 seconds, and I was like, yeah, right. Just don't have it.
Yeah, I did pallets. I did overstock pallets. I did returns pallets. I've done every kind of pallet you thought of. When I got back into the reselling game about 2.5 years ago, I started with pallets. And I say every time it comes up, I do not recommend doing pallets. And it's because of everything everybody just said. Plus, like, we were getting some Home Depot and Lowe's pallets. We would think everything was there. We would even and it takes time. You got to check off every little piece and part of that $300 fan on your pallet. And then it goes and it was missing this tiny connector that whoever returned it didn't put in. So now you just have a $300 return. You're paying it. About half the stuff isn't going to work. People are super dishonest. Returns pallets, people were putting like 99-cent Walmart blinds into $50 Lowe's blinds boxes and returning them. So you're seeing all these nice things, and that's not what's in the box. People are very dishonest. That kind of opened my eyes to like they're stealing. That's stealing. It's stealing. And And we had such crap. That's why I said I did the yard sale. And if you buy overstock pallets, which is new merchandise, that's new merchandise that didn't sell for somebody. So it's probably going to be pretty long tail.
Very good point.
I still buy pallets, but I buy pallets off high bid that are like 1 or 2 items, like my vents and my Porsche cabin filters. But it's one listing and I have 500 of them, and I have the space in the loft of the shed to put them and let them sit there. And I typically get them really cheap. So once like 5 of them sell, the other 490 of them are all profit.
Yeah.
But as far as returns, overstock, wholesale ninjas, bulk, I my advice would be to stay away. I never bought from wholesale ninjas, but I bought from a lot of different companies, and it's just like you see all the excitement on like YouTube and people finding this stuff. That is not the norm. That is not reality. That I say stay away from.
On the excitement part of it, I just want to mention this real quick. You know that feeling you get when you go thrifting and you have a good day, you bring home all that stuff, you're home and you're like, I got to list this now, right? Like all that goes away. Just imagine that times by 5 or 10 because you have so much more stuff. It's a big burden if you're not disciplined enough to get through. You know, I mean, it's hard to be disciplined in this, in this game in general at times, and that makes it even harder.
And I would buy mystery boxes because I'm like a gambler. Like if it was like closed up and I didn't know what's in it, I'm like, oh, I need that.
Yeah,
and then it's like,
that looks fun.
Dog diapers or something, whatever. It didn't work out. I'd stay away from pallets. Carmen says she has antiques she inherited. Should I try eBay or just sell to someone directly or at the swap meet? Where do I start? I was raised around it, but it's not my forte.
That's a great question. Honestly, it depends on how much work you want to do. You're going to make top dollar by piecing it out on eBay. That's going to require, the reason why you could sell it cheap to somebody else, maybe that's a reseller, or sell it a little bit undervalued at the swap meet, is because somebody else is going to be doing that work. They're playing the arbitrage game. They're buying it low and they're putting in the work and selling it higher. So it just depends on what you want. If you want to make top dollar on it or a good profit on it, you're going to want to go through that research process and everything. But if you just want to get rid of it and make a little cash, I would just, put it up on Facebook Marketplace, or maybe, even not even take it to the swap meet, just put it up on Facebook Marketplace as a lot, reseller lot or something.
Yeah. Think of it like this. If you put it up on eBay, let's say, you're going to have to ship it. You're going to have to do whatever you're going to have to do. You could sell it locally. You're going to have to, make sure everything's taken care of. And the fee. So maybe you're going to get 500 on eBay. Over here, you can get 300. Take the 300 is my opinion, and don't get the hassle of the 500. The 500 is great. You look at it, but by the time you're done there, it's down to 300 or whatever, because you've got work and time. Whereas you could sell it maybe for 300, like Carrie said. So try to find the guy who's going to resell that thing. Let him deal with it. You've got to lower that price fairly and move it. That's on stuff like that. Yeah. And antiques, it varies from person to person. So if you've got a local swap meet that you can get it to, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to get it there.
Yeah, I was just going to, I agree with them. It all depends on how much work you want to put in. If you want to do a whole bunch of it, then do the whole thing on eBay and then you get top dollar for it. But I would be, if it was me and I just inherited it and it's not my forte, I want to get these things gone, I'm having people come to me to pick it up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but if you're wanting to start like a reselling business and learn it, then I would put it on eBay. But if you're not wanting to get into reselling, then do it at, Facebook Marketplace, have them pick it up and spare yourself photographing and shipping and packing and all of that. I will let Carrie and Mike answer this. Me and Julian have established we don't really sell books. How do you decide what books to look for?
I just look for popular series. Here in Utah, I'll give you kind of a specific. Every place you live in the world has something that they're known for. Most people, when they think of Utah, one of the things that comes to mind is Mormons. And there's a lot of LDS Mormon books, old ones, new ones. So that's one thing I look for here. There's a big market for that and worldwide. I look for pop culture stuff, Harry Potter, Star Wars. And then I look for popular writers and try to find their older versions of their books, their first editions. But I'm sure Mike has a lot more in-depth knowledge on that than I do.
Well, Well, when I'm scanning books, that's helping me there. So half the bin is being scanned and pulled away for me. It's being told for me. But the other ones, basically you use your common sense and your overall knowledge of life. You know what a title, and you start to build this confidence of what titles you're looking for. I'm always looking for self-help books. Trust me, everybody's looking for something self-help. And after a while, you just kind of know it. There are some really cool coffee table books, some very expensive coffee table books, but a lot of them are junk. So you got to be kind of picky there. And without the app and with eBay, you can scan the ISB. I mean, you can't just scan the ISB. You can scan the UPC code if that's on there. That will help you figure out if you've got a book worth something. But the older books, you're looking for first editions. That would be inside the cover and the condition of the book. So when you start to see older books, people think, oh, they're older books. No, let me tell you, about 99% of them are just pure garbage. You're just going to throw them away. You got to know your titles, your artists. I mean, your writers, Stephen King, just all the famous authors out there, Hemingway. Once you start to know all of them, when you see a Hemingway book, you pick the Hemingway book up, right? Now, science fiction, that's another category. There's a lot of very, very good science fiction. I picked up in one of the bins. I was kind of disappointed at first. It was Fantasy and Science or something by Isaac Asimov. There were like 140 books. And I looked through this and I go, what am I going to do with this? Here was the thing. There were 6 books in there that Stephen King had put a short story in. I pulled those 6 and I sold those 6 for $300. Then I sold the lot for like another $250. So when you see something like that, and you go, okay, what am I going to do here? At first, I was like disappointed because it was like, oh man, these are going to be a real pain. But they weren't once I realized they were Stephen King. So you're looking for these known artists, known authors. Just keep looking. Your mind will eventually. That's what it is. When I'm in a bin, I pretty much know I can toss this book. I can toss that book. You just build this knowledge. That's the key to this. You have to build knowledge. I tell people, you've got to walk before you run. You are not going to know everything, and I still don't know everything. But after a while, it's going to become kind of rote. Like Kat, she probably knows glass. I'm lost in the glass aisle. In the glass aisle, I get triggered. I turn around. I turn my cart around, and I go, nah, wrong aisle. So.
It's so interesting. You learn to resell by going out and looking for stuff to resell. If you want to get better at knowing what to decide on books, you got to go out and look through books and look at more stuff. Because you learned all that stuff about those Isaac, Asimovs or whatever.
Isaac Asimov, yep.
Now you know. You will never forget that. You made a lot of money on that deal. So now you have that knowledge, and that's really what we do. We build on
knowledge. I want to show you something I found because I think Kat would like this one. I got to show her. It's a piece of glass, real quick.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not a glass guy, but this is to talk about everybody in reselling. When you see something, your eyes tell you. Okay. There you go. Okay. I'll try and put it in there. It's a piece of Murano glass. Okay. It's a huge, it looks like an Oscar.
A big piece. Yeah.
It's a big piece. It's by Pino Scanetti, and it's 1985, signed, and it was made for Ellie Shemansky. It was made for somebody. This got to a thrift store. Yeah, I paid $20
Which is crazy.
How does this get to a thrift store? That's what I want to know. I
have a lot of stuff that's high dollar. I'm like, how did this get? And my private pick I did, like I got locket. I brought it back like gold and lockets with inscribed names because I did the private pick, so I know who it came from. I'm like, I don't think you meant to give me these here. But that's that's beautiful.
And end up and
you learn.
Yeah, but that's simple. I mean, I tell people and they say, well, what do I need to do? I said, you need to get your 2 feet and move. You gotta get out and move, go down the aisles, look, learn, listen, get to know other resellers. That is one of my biggest things. I tell people, I'm in California, so I have a lot of thrift stores. Everybody knows me. Okay. I know them. I know exactly what they look for. They know what I look for. We network within each other. I have given other people things that they want. They've given me things. They alert me. So that's it. So you've got to get out and you've got to create these relationships. And these relationships will build you even more and more knowledge. I have a route that I do. And really quickly, what it is my friends will tell me, hey, I went to this particular Goodwill. Don't go. He just saved me a trip. He just saved me a trip to that Goodwill. And I'll do the same thing. I'll say, hey, this one's dead. Don't go. They're not putting anything out. So it's saving you time. So that's networking. That's being with other resellers when you're in a bigger area. Yeah, in a rural area, it's tougher. But in these bigger cities, don't be afraid to know other people. And what you need, what everybody needs, a business card. That's it. I will tell you that right there that $9.99 from Vistaprint will make you
your friend. Yeah.
This is your friend. This is your big friend.
Yeah. And my friend Pepper knows I like glass and teacups. So she's sourcing for her yard sale and she'll send me pics. Hey, do you like this? Would you want this? And because they have something else she's going to pick up and she'll get it for me. Not now, because I'm like, no more. I keep telling her that and she keeps sending me stuff. I'm like, not buying. But yeah, so making friends for sure. And like I was talking about earlier, we swap inventory. Something's not moving for me. We switch because she sells in person. Mike, I don't know if you can answer this. She's saying when she sends pics to iCloud, they come up in a weird format. Do you happen to know?
I can help her to a degree. I can help her to a degree. Now, it comes up, it's probably coming up as an HEIC file. It's a really weird Apple file. And it is something with the phone setting. I don't know. I don't have it right in front of me. I ran into the same problem, and I've run into it occasionally when I've used some other photos from some other people. If you just do a Google search, it's just a simple setting, and that HIC file will go away. It needs to be converted to a JPEG. If you can't, you just push it up there, and then there's a lot of programs that will convert it. But you just need to find out what the function is on the phone. There is something on the phone. I just don't know what it is right now. Do a Google search, you'll figure it right out. That's what's going on.
Heidi, I'm assuming this isn't me because I'm the main one doing glass. The best background for clear glass, I use white because I use a background remover. And I show that actually in my photo video I dropped earlier. I can drop it again if you need me to. But I use white because black's hard because you could lose some of your edges. I think the white shows it a little bit better. And if it's like clear glasses, sometimes I'll put tissue paper inside of them on the white. And there's another one. Oh, it's Heidi again. So Heidi, look up like the nurse flipper. Like I think I put like professional photos or something. And watch that video. I show it specifically because I got asked a lot. Yes, Don, the auction professor, is great. He is good friends with Dominic, Primetime Treasure Hunter, who actually is one of my 2 guests next week. Primetime Treasure Hunter, as well as Tesla Picker, who has been like a stranger to me for months. He is back on. Next week will be Dominic.
Nice.
Kevin would like to get Inman graded.
You know
I have mine sitting here. I don't think mine would grade very high.
I think I might send mine in.
There you go.
I've got one. I might send it in.
Kevin, are you offering a grading service for Inaman? You're
like
the
there we
go. Specialist.
That's Kevin. There you go.
Yeah, the one I got was not super high quality, not really gradable.
I think I got an 8. I got an 8.9.
Mine.
Mine's an 8.9. I'd like to upgrade.
Mine's autographed by some dude named Kevin. I don't know who the heck he is.
Now I gotta look. Look, mine's right here.
Mine's out in the garage. That's funny.
Okay.
It's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he doesn't have, like, did they have tags ever? Do some of them have tags?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think mine did.
Mine's
I don't know.
tag.
Look at mine's.
I don't have a tag. Mine, I'm not grading mine. Mine's not worth it. Maybe yours is.
I got a tag, so
you got to get one of those.
Yeah,
Kevin, why didn't I get a tag on my Inaman?
9.9.
You gotta get the Beanie Baby tag protector there. That tie little thing, dude.
Totally got to get it for the Inaman. Dythene, you can choose to sort it by your the title at the top. If you click the item title, if you click that, it will sort your listings by that. I sort mine by the newly listed because that's what I want to see. It all depends on how you want to set it up, and eBay will remember, like, if you sort it to you want to see alphabetical. But like, I don't typically use like whatever it is is not going to be my first thing. So for me, it wouldn't help. But you can search your listing. There's a function at the top of all your listings. You can type in whatever you're looking for and put title, and then it'll pull up what you're looking for. Gina Marie wants to know if any of us have any connections with resellers in Canada.
I know a few, honestly. Yeah. If you want to DM me on Instagram, I'm connected with quite a few guys up there and girls.
None.
So Thrift BCQ was actually, I think he was in the chat earlier. Chris is an amazing reseller up in Canada. Him and I started our channels about the same time, and he's been on mine. It's been a while. And then now I'm trying to but if you watch Chris, he has a lot of friends up there that are Canadian resellers. I haven't talked to a lot of them in a long time. I used to, but I haven't in a while. Constance says, when you donate something back to the thrift store, do you use the cost you paid for? I think that the thrift store decides the value of stuff when they give you a donation receipt, correct?
I'm not sure. I think you can write down what it is, but I'm not sure. It could be different everywhere.
Or maybe for a loss, she's asking?
Yeah, I think it's for a loss.
For a loss, yeah.
I would just put what I paid.
Yeah. That's what I do, is pretty much what I paid. One thing you can't do, let me tell you something. One thing you cannot do, and I've been doing this I had a store for 30 years. In 30 years, I was never audited by the IRS. Okay. The reason why?
Better knock on something.
I know. Everything needs to be above board, period. That's it. That's the only way to run it. And I'm not kidding. There's so many people who try to kind of slide around it, and it will come around sometimes and bite you, and it will bite you at the most inopportune time. So everything I do is straight above board. And that's the best philosophy I can give you with the IRS. The one thing I'm talking about is this new law that's coming in where it's going to be $600 and everybody's freaking out. Right. And I always have said
that's been the law.
Legally,
you should report everything.
Right. No, you're right. It should be. But what I mean is they're not reporting it.
They're going to 1099 them.
They're going to 1099 them. Now. So here it is. Here's what I always said. That's a barrier to not being successful. You're stopping yourself at 20,000. Why would you stop at 20? Go to 30, go to 40, go to 50. Yeah. Keep going. You will be surprised. I tell people, especially young people, that's the first thing they say is, what about taxes? And I say, look, if you're doing everything right and you've got your process down, you have a job, right? Your job takes out taxes. I just pay mine April 15th. Okay. Or whatever, I pay at the end of the year. You'd be surprised at how little I probably pay compared to what you think, because I get other write-offs. I can write off my mileage.
I get all of the write-offs.
Yep. Exactly.
My accountant is well worth what I pay him.
Right. So, and there's all of these things. So, don't let that 20,000, just go for it. Just keep going. Yeah. Don't stop at 20.
Get an accountant that you're comfortable with. Yeah. That you can work with year to year, that knows what you're doing, and they're going to pay for themselves.
And mine does everything monthly. I do nothing because I don't want to deal with it. He knows all the ins and outs. He knows he's been doing it 2 years now. We had a little bumps in the road. I'm not going to lie. If you've been watching me a while, but we are good. Yeah. Deborah wants to know if any of us have had any issues with selling on Facebook Marketplace.
I will tell you this. I started doing Facebook Marketplace shipping sales probably last year. And the one thing I have noticed is there is some issues with returns. If somebody wants a return, I've never got my item back, and they just refund the person. So
I've seen that a few times too. Yeah.
This is the way I look at it. Make your mark, understand Facebook Marketplace, and realize that in business, there is loss. Walmart I think they expect 3 to 5% loss. And if you're in business, you should expect a certain amount of loss too. So that's occasionally going to happen. And I wouldn't let that prevent you from trying a place like Facebook Marketplace, an occasional refund that you don't get the item back on, because they're going to fix that. I think Facebook could very well, if they want to, compete with eBay head to head. They have a lot of good things going for them. So, in theory, we'll see if they can do it though.
Yeah. I don't ship anything on Facebook Marketplace, only pickups. So I don't have any issues with that. None.
Yeah, I haven't started shipping on Facebook either.
Julian, what'd you have local though? I know, like, I quit
Local
doing
issues, yeah.
local. I only do shipping because where I'm at, people would not show up. They wouldn't meet me. They'd reschedule 5 times. I don't do any local. Didn't you? What'd you have with that guy?
Oh, locally,
Talked about it
yeah.
last
I mean,
I got to go plug my phone in. Sorry, one sec.
Okay, go.
locally, you have a whole bunch of no-shows, which can be a waste of time. And then I had an incident where somebody came. I was having people come to the house. Not a good idea after this person came to the house. So now I have a storage unit, and we go on my time. I'm like, I'll be at the storage unit at this time. If you're there, I'll sell it to you. If not, because I don't sell a lot on there, and I don't need like that type. You know what I'm saying? Like very minimal. And but that would be a lot of no-shows or a lot of people just wasting your time.
All right, I think this one's for you, Mike. What about anime comic books? Are you familiar with
I
those?
think that's what I'm talking about. Anime, I think in Japanese means comic. Okay, so that's what it is.
Okay.
They're usually like, think of paperbacks. They're paperbacks. Now they read backwards, so the back side, they read that way. It's really a weird book, but anime books are some can be gold. I have sold some for $300. So you've got to look around. You'll be amazed that that's what's out there, and you just got to
So
scan
it
them.
sounds like it wasn't a bad decision to buy a box full for $40.
No, that person made a really. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, you probably didn't. I don't know how many you got in there. I don't like to spend more than $1 when I'm buying them, or $2, unless they've got some real value, like at Savers or something. Savers has been catching on to anime a little bit, and they're sneaking the price up just a hair. But when you can buy them in lots, that's the key. Like some of them can go 60 long. There could be 1, 2, 3, all the way to 60. You get that, and you find Dragon Ball Z, some of that stuff. You're into some very, very big money. So,
all right, we are getting ready to start the quick fire. I am not bad. I'm only about 30 minutes behind tonight, not an hour. And we're going to answer questions as fast as we can and get as many. So first one, well, I'm going to go ahead and answer this. Picking the 603, do all of your listings go in your store after you sign up for it? Yes, you do not have to re-enter everything. They are there.
Right.
Cindy, I see your question about the coupon. Message me. That's not an easy thing to tell you how to find the eBay coupon. I think Commonwealth Picker has a video on it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton went down south to visit his aunt for her birthday today. I've been Daltonless. He's probably home. They're probably home now. So I'm going to go see him when I get in there. But he had a prize, so he's probably going to ignore me when I go in there because his stuff came via Amazon. Tammy Wood wants to know, has anyone raised prices on their items due to inflation and postage rates?
No, I mean, the market's the market. You could raise your prices as far as like what your base price is, and then I do adjust shipping accordingly as it goes up.
I adjust shipping right now. Priority went from $8 to $8.75, so that's something you got to go in and maybe go back and do, or just remember it and let the others run. That's all you can do.
Yeah, no, I don't. And I do mostly all calculated shipping, so it's already been adjusted.
Yeah, I do calculated too, so it will automatically adjust it. But I don't, and I comp when I buy it, and hopefully it's not here long enough for inflation to really matter. Cherish Each Day says she loves Mike, Golden State Picker, bring him back. Both of these guys are here because you guys asked me to bring them on. That's why they are here. I don't have time, honestly, to watch much YouTube. So I go off what my subscribers are telling me and who they're asking me to bring on. So both of these gentlemen were recommended to me. So if you want to see someone, and I do bring people back, if you want to see someone else, let me know. I can't make them answer me, though. I will tell you. I just can't. Irene says, I want to give a discount on combined shipping invoice I already sent. Can I do that? And how?
That's a good question. I think you could resend an invoice, I believe. I don't know.
There's probably a way. It's a little tricky. Probably.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are sure, but worst
Never gonna
case, you could always send them a refund. Send a refund after you ship. Here's a tip for you guys. If you send a refund for combined shipping before you ship the item out, eBay takes it out of your items that need to be shipped. Ask me how I know. So refund them after you ship it. That's my advice.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good tip.
I learned that the hard. I'm like, where did it go? PK Demas, do we know how eBay gift cards work for the seller? I've used them in a past as a buyer. I think you would just get paid because eBay's already collected that money, especially through
eBay would just pay you, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I missed a super sticker. Here is your
Super chat.
I'm going to let Carrie and Mike try and touch on this really fast. We did talk about it at the beginning of the show. Builds Back to Life wants to know if anyone else does consignment and what is your percentage you take?
I don't much anymore, and I do 50-50 after fees.
I'm the same, 50-50 after fees. And it has to be a real quality item.
I'm trying to find more questions. I'm actually at 950. I'm doing good. I see a lot of chatting. Miss Tempting Treasures, would you sell items over $75, $100, and $500 on Facebook Marketplace with the return situation?
Yes, I would. I'd risk it for the most part. Maybe not 500, but I mean, the returns I had were not cheap ones. We'll put it that way. But I don't know. You got to risk it for the biscuit, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's true. I don't do it, but yeah, if that's what you're doing, 75, 100, 500. I don't know. I feel safer with a bigger item on eBay. I don't know why, but I just do.
That's funny. I have the same, like 500. It's like 400 maybe, but you hit that 500. It's like that's a little much.
375, no problem. 400.
Yeah, 499 I can do, but 500 that's probably the line. I would definitely risk it all the way up until like that amount of money. No big deal.
And I do. I sold a $175 item on Facebook Marketplace shipping that I'm shipping out tomorrow. So I say yes. T Peddler, I've heard several YouTube resale folks speaking about using services such as List Perfectly. That would be great, but there's no way to sync all of the selling platforms. I think the question is like, do you know of a service that syncs everything together?
I don't know.
That would be yourself.
Exactly.
You're the service.
You're the. I don't like that, and I don't like to cross list too much because there becomes a problem where for example, eBay is the worst at this. If they don't pay, they have that 4 days, and you take your items down off of all your other platforms because it's sold on eBay and you don't want it to sell over there, and they don't pay on eBay. Now you got to put it all back up on the other platforms. So that's one of the reasons why I'm strictly almost eBay.
And I'm not a big cross lister either, because this is my philosophy. If you have an item that's priced correctly in the market, it's going to sell whether you put it on eBay, Marketplace, Mercari. If it's priced right, it's a good item. I don't know if it's worth the hassle of, maybe the item not being taken down in time, the double sales that could happen overnight. I don't think it's worth the risk. I think it's a little bit, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it overall.
Yeah, me either.
To sync them, it would have to be you. You would have to do that, but I use List Perfectly, and I only use it on Mercari, so I do 2 sites. There
you go. Yeah, that's something like maybe minimal.
eBay and Mercari.
When you people doing Bonanza and all this other stuff, I think you get out there and pretty soon, I do not want to screw up eBay. That's what you don't want to do. You do not want to screw up eBay. And if you screw up eBay, it doesn't take long. That's what some of these people had problems with drop shipping. When this COVID hit, they were drop shipping, and all of a sudden they couldn't get the product. They had sold all these items, and guess what? They had to hit returns, and kaboom! Now you're in trouble. So
this is why I do my panels, guys, because my answer is going to be completely different from everybody else's. I cross post everything. All 3,800 items are on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook. But like everybody said, eBay is number one. If it happens to double sell, which has only happened to me twice over years, it's going to get canceled on anywhere but eBay. eBay, I am not canceling. That is my primary moneymaker. And I take stuff down. But what I want to say, and I'm a List Perfectly user as well, is that if you start your listings on List Perfectly, it does put them all in one place. I'm just so used to, like, my base is listing on eBay. So I list on eBay, and then my mom comes and my mom does the cross posting. So, but if you made your listing in List Perfectly's database, then everything is together, and then you just have to hit end item one time, and it would take it down from everywhere you've used List Perfectly to put it out to. But I am hard-headed, and at this point I'm 3,800 items deep. If I had started using List Perfectly as my base, then it would be okay, but I have not. We'll see what our opinions are on this question from Pickin' the 603. How do some eBay sellers offer free shipping on heavier items?
Oh, I like this one.
Free shipping doesn't exist.
Let
me explain that to you. Free shipping, they just bake it into the price, guys. Free shipping's a marketing ploy. That's why I do plus shipping. I talk about this a lot. Plus shipping for various reasons, mostly to do with I do best offer, and I want to make sure I get reasonable offers. But if it's a heavier item and it's free shipping, they've just baked that shipping cost into the item's price.
For example, heavier items with amplifiers, for example, I like to not do free shipping at all. Now, there's some people that don't have to pay sales tax in their state with this crossover on the shipping. So let's say you have an item for 900 and you sell it for 1,000 with shipping, or 100 shipping. They might pay tax on the 900, not the 1,000. So there's $100. So there's like $10 savings there. So, and I also like to make money on shipping. Okay. I am in California, Cat's in Florida. I take all my amplifiers, for example, and they are a minimum of $50 shipping, up to $69 shipping. And that's what I charge. Now I let the buyer look at that. He might be in California and he's realizing, wow, his shipping is high. Let's put in an offer, and kind of he calculates that in, and we meet there. But in the bottom line is, then I'm only going to be charging maybe $30 in shipping. I make $39. And it doesn't matter. Look, at your time is time. And if you make $10 on the shipping, you're packaging it. It's your box. It's your label. It's everything. So I'm not afraid of that. I am not afraid of that. I put shipping on every big item, and I let it sit out there. I'm just making sure my price matches at the lowest.
Yeah, exactly what they said. You can't really add too much to that.
Yeah. And I've seen some, I will tell you, and I have won them. There are some really big sellers that do auctions that count on that item going so high. Guess what? I'm going to buy it and they're going to lose money. I won like Dalton's tricycle that was like a convertible tricycle for $20 on auction. They paid $26 to ship it to me from California. But those sellers are counting like probably 9 times out of 10, they're making way over what it would be, and they're taking a chance. But yeah, there's somebody's paying for the shipping.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Amazon. Think about it. Amazon is a great example. Everybody goes, "How's Amazon do it for free?" It's built in their model. It's built
right. And most people are going to buy multiple items, which they're making profit on. DMB wants to know, how do you pay for return shipping on a return?
Well, when eBay, when you have a return case, you accept a return, you're going to pay for the label out of your, whatever you have in your account, or out of your bank account or PayPal, whatever you have hooked up.
Exactly what Carrie said. It's really simple. You just hit the button and your account goes down.
Yep, it goes on hold.
It's no fun at all.
It just goes down. You're $10 lighter.
Yeah, you're billed for it. Gina wants to know, is there anywhere that we do not ship to?
I use GSP, so if eBay's willing to ship it to a country, I will. Back in the day, when I was doing all the international stuff myself, I shipped everywhere, but I've heard things about, Brazil and other countries where it's a little bit iffy. One time I sold like a $200 transformer to China, and it was literally, the address was like down, it said like down the road on the right. I was like, I lost this money 100%, and then made it. So I was super lucky.
Down the road to the right.
I'm a case by case on that. For example, I do not ship my heavy electronics to global shipping. And the reason being is this: once it gets out of the country, they can claim it's damaged. You are now responsible if you want that thing back. eBay's not going to help you on that. I don't think they don't help you.
They will.
Will
So
they?
on eBay's global shipping, you are only responsible to make it to Kentucky. They will give you your money and the buyer the money for global shipping.
That's what I've heard. But I had a case where I shipped a toy to Europe, and the guy claimed it was damaged in shipping, and I did not win. I didn't get that. I didn't get anything.
So they'll try and make you refund. Did you wait like past the 3 days? But they won't. You can't open a global shipping international claim for 3 days. So you basically have to hold out 3 days, and then eBay will pay them. They won't do it automatically.
Right. So that's something I learned, but I still don't do it. It's just, these items, then I don't know what happens when it gets to Kentucky. Then it gets on a plane to wherever. Then it gets on to
I think they repackage too.
I think you might be right, but these things are big, and then it gets on a horse and buggy and down the
Amazon, down on the right,
down on the right,
exactly.
Down on the right. And I'm like, so it's a case by case for me.
I ship everywhere. Yeah, I do global shipping and everywhere.
Yeah, I ship everywhere. Rock Chica, what happened to the trunk you shipped to Florida? It made it. So I shipped a trunk on like a $200 antique steamer trunk. And it somehow went like up to like Georgia or Maine before it went down, but it made it. It turned around and went. Why they carried this big steamer trunk the wrong direction, I do not know. But it did make it, and I did get paid for it. We're going to do a few more questions, guys, and then we're going to be done. Tam Ray wants to know, would you sell items within a rented case at an antique mall?
I'll say this. I've done a few antique malls. I've had consignment at my shop, and typically based on rent and everything, in most cases, the only people making money overall at antique malls are the owners. I mean, honestly, that's just the truth. I had a case in Vegas for a while. When we go down there, I would take toys and I tried it. It's tough. You can do it, but it's a little bit more difficult than you think. But I haven't met a lot of people who make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. No, for me, just another thing I don't need. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean, I've got enough going on. So one more thing like that would just really put it in, time-wise, that kind of thing. So for me, it'd be no.
Yeah, personally, no, I would not do that.
I wouldn't either. I don't want extra overhead. And like Carrie said, like the rent's outrageous. You have to sell a lot just to break even.
Then you got to go there. I don't time.
Do any of us get receipts when we drop our packages off at the post office?
Typically, no. I just started redoing it because I'm doing a lot of the cheap shipping with cards. They have shipping under $1 right now for cards with the new tracking they have, and I've had nothing but problems.
The eBay envelope or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
and I've had a lot of problems with it. So I like several. So I am now getting a receipt just to cover my own butt.
Expensive items, yes, I will. If it's an expensive item, I just want to make sure it's scanned. This coming Christmas season, it's going to be one big crapshoot. Who knows what the post office is going to do? I mean, really, I have no clue.
No, I agree. I agree.
I mean, it's going to get your shipping supplies now. I mean, you think you're going to need boxes 2 weeks before Christmas? You might get it 2 weeks before Valentine's Day because it's not gonna. So all that kind of stuff. I just, I love the U.S. Post Office. Don't get me wrong, but man,
Yeah, when they get backed up, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
I only do it if it's over like $350, $400. I'll get that one just scanned because it takes forever at the post office in the morning. But no, I just throw it. They give me my own buggy now. I dump everything in the buggy and I just wheel it to the
grass, man.
Yeah.
I got my own guy. If I get there early, my guy comes out with a buggy. Right in.
Right on.
Yeah, we do the scan form. So we see them scan the scan form. All of our packages are on it. Not for the other platform, but we do wait and get it for that. But I live in a small town, so there's like rarely a line, and we typically just go right up there. T Peddler wants to know, Kat and Julian, do you manage to get all your sold listings unlisted quick enough?
I do it right away, almost. If I have an offer come in, especially on Macari, I check my inventory on eBay real fast to make sure it's still like listed. That means it's still there and I didn't already sell it. So, but no,
I
I
do
it
that
right
too.
away. You got to, because you don't know what. I don't know what I sold. I ain't got a clue.
So I immediately, if it sells on Facebook, Mercari, Poshmark, immediately, if I'm awake, it is coming down off eBay. Now, as far as taking items down off of Facebook, Mercari, and Poshmark, I do that every few days. I don't do it regular. Facebook will ding you if you cancel more than 10% of your listings. I know because I got close. I haven't ever had it shut down. So Facebook is the second one that I make sure I take them off of. And I never take them off Poshmark because it won't let me search my closet. So Poshmark has like 7,000 listings, but
That's fun.
I keep saying I'm going to stop it, and then like a $200 thing will sell, and I keep doing it. This is a good question, and I need to look because I will tell you, I promote everything, and all of a sudden 150 of my items are not promoted, and I tried and they wouldn't go. So you're bringing up something I don't know. I'd like to know if anybody else does. She's saying today eBay said pottery and glass vases no longer qualify for promoted listings. Does anybody know why?
None. That doesn't make sense.
No idea.
Yeah,
I've not heard
know.
anything.
I feel like they
Yeah,
would want it to be
I'm
promoted.
gonna try and research that. Picking the 603. Other people have asked if they can borrow my mom, and she like is barely interested in cross posting for me. So I kind of mentioned it, but it didn't go very far. Unfortunately, I'm trying to see if there's any more. Yeah, Jackie, I will try and research for you guys, and if I find something, maybe I'll do a little short on my YouTube. I'll try and research it tonight, and maybe we'll have some kind of update. Betty wants to know if any of us use the eBay picture editing tool.
No.
No.
It always wants me to, though. Every time. Would you like to do this? No.
No.
It doesn't seem like it's very exact. It's always sends me a messed up version of
And
the
you
picture.
see all this gray over here. And,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
No.
Yes. No. No
Yes,
is my
no.
answer. Weirdest item sold.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Gosh, I'm trying to think of a
Now we
quick
all
one.
got to think.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
think on it, because I got a dolphin to give. Think on the weirdest
Okay.
item sold, and I'm going to give a
Wow.
dolphin. Thank
I
you
don't
so
have
much.
one.
Thrifting's my hobby.
Super chat.
Goodness. That's
This isn't weird, but I think it's cool, and it's a little unique. Not something that you sell or see very often. I got last year. I actually had a consignment, and a guy gave me a bunch of Liberace fan club Christmas cards that were autographed by Liberace, and they would all open up, and they were 3D. They were super cool, and they were selling for like $100 a pop. They weren't weird, but they were unique, and I absolutely love any weird ephemera I can get like that, or just different unique stuff like that.
so trouble. I don't have anything weird. I can't remember. That's a tough question.
That is a tough one.
It is.
I got unique, but weird. No, I just don't. That's it. I don't have anything. Sorry, I don't.
I just
think of
sold
something,
something called a power riser. It was like for a kid. It was like this half moon shaped thing. You put your foot in. I have no idea what it actually was supposed to do, but they sold for like $70 plus shipping. They paid like $100 for it. Like I still don't know what it's.
You don't always need to know what it does. You
Yeah,
just
I don't
need to
know.
if it
I
sells.
guess I went, that's a good grab. So
Yeah, I don't know that I have weird. I probably have had weird. You
Yeah.
guys know I sell anything. I'm putting this statement up by Lynn, and then I'm going to let Mike and Carrie both say goodbye to you guys. Mark and Richard have both been dropping links to everybody's channels. Again, we have 450 people still in here watching. Thank you all for hanging out with us for 2 hours. Definitely check these guys out if you don't already know them. Some of you have to know them because you recommended them to me. Lynn is saying, I called about the promoted listing option because she had other things she was listing and it didn't show up. And she was told that it is a problem that eBay is working on to try again in a few days. So there it is. That is the biggest thing. I am going to take this off and let Mr. Carey say goodbye to you guys. And if you guys have anything coming up, like videos or anything, let them know. And definitely subscribe to them both. Here is Carrie to tell you guys bye.
Yeah, it was nice being on live with Kat and everybody. This is awesome. If you guys want to check out the weird, wacky world of TikTok, I'm American Arbitrage there and everywhere. Instagram, YouTube. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Pinterest. So I am pretty much everywhere that you can follow somebody on. And yeah, I don't have any new things coming out. YouTube, I'll have a video. I think a garage sale or a swap meet video in the next couple days.
All right, perfect. Here is Mike.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks. I really appreciate it. This is my first live ever. And I really appreciate it. I had a ton of fun. This was really, really cool. And I thank everybody, all the people in the chat and the comment area. Thank you. Thank you. One thing is my video for my wooden flag is going to come out, and the winner will be announced in a video in a couple of days. So if you're from my channel, get ready to watch that one. All right. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Perfect. And Carmen says it's her first time seeing any of us. So Carmen, thank you so much. Welcome. We do these shows every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I definitely will have both these guys back on. I might have them back on together because I think this flowed very nicely tonight. I appreciate you guys watching. I have a live sale tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. I didn't even show. Look, I'm going to show you really quick since there's still a bunch of you. Look, I'm selling jewelry with Yvonne and Selena Vintage Bombshell. Look at the cool sterling silver hummingbird.
That's very nice. I like that.
Live on Yvonne Thrifty Riches channel tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm bringing almost all sterling silver and gold, and I think I'm going to start it all at $5, guys. So come out to the live sale tomorrow night.
Might be an auction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why not, right? So we will see you guys next Tuesday with Dominic, Primetime Treasure Hunter, and Dave.